help him with it quite a bit.
Which is what?
Gene's TV and Appliance.
Where are they located?
Between Cleveland and Charleston.
Well, I can't.
You know, I mean that's
on the
yeah.
Coming to Cleveland on the left.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've been there a long time.
Yeah, he's been at 50-something years, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I've got other ways I make money, but that's you know, he was going to retire, and I said, no, I'll just take it over, keep running it, because I was running it all my life. So
TV repair.
Well, now we don't work on TV as much anymore. Just if they're under warranty, most time they throw them in the garbage.
Yeah.
They ain't worth fixing. $300 for a board, that ain't worth it. You can buy a TV for that.
Yeah.
So.
But you live in Etowah or Englewood?
Etowah.
So if you're going to Polk County, you go to Etowah and then Englewood?
No.
Is it Etowah, Englewood?
No. You got Polk County, then Etowah, then Englewood.
What's the next one?
Madisonville.
Madisonville.
Yep.
So, what part of it, Etowah?
I live up north Etowah towards Macmillan Central High School. You know, so.
That is I like it in Etowah.
Oh, it's a nice little town, little country town. It's nice.
When you come to Cleveland, you come down, go across Bowater Road,
Bowater
take
Road.
a left.
Yep.
You ever got a ticket going through Calhoun?
No, I know most of them cops. I was a policeman for a long time, so I usually get. If I do get stopped, I can usually get out. You know, knock on wood.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
where were you a policeman at?
Macmillan County, Polk County, Benton, and I had a bail bond company for a long time. So I bounty hunted and done all that for a long time.
Was that hard?
The
bounty hunting?
No, actually, I enjoyed it. But when you own your own company, it gets old having to babysit these people, you know, because you have to babysit them. And if they run, you got to go chase them, bring them back to jail. So, I mean, I went plumb to California, plumb to New York, bringing people back. So,
how do you get them to get in the car with you?
Arrest them.
Oh, you got handcuffs and everything?
Yeah, I carry guns and cuffs. I just arrest them, but just like a police officer. Matter of fact, I got more jurisdiction than an officer does, a regular officer, when they jump on. So, and I still do it every now and then. I still bounty hunt once in a while.
So, you're mainly into paranormal research.
Yeah.
Which is what? What would be the definition of that?
Well, paranormal is a wide variety. It's ghosts, it's demons, it's Bigfoot, it's UFOs, it's anything different. That's paranormal. That covers everything. So, you know, and I don't really chase UFOs or anything like that, but we will do a little Bigfoot hunting every now and then. But mainly my group does the paranormal, which I'm a demonologist too. So they call me in when things get bad to, you know, find out if we're dealing with a demon and what we need to do to try to get rid of it. And, you know, sometimes we may have a minister or a priest or somebody come in too, and we'll work on trying to get rid of it out of the house or the person or whatever. So,
have you been to the Bigfoot Museum?
Yeah, that's awesome.
It really is good.
It really is. It's a nice place.
What is the connection? Anytime somebody talks about Bigfoot, they'll talk about UFO. What is there? Why is there a connection between those two?
You know, I've heard that they'll say that you'll see Bigfoot, then there'll be a UFO, or you'll see a UFO and there'll be a Bigfoot. I don't quite, because I seen one when I was younger, a Bigfoot, and there was no UFO around. And I've been in the woods and I've had rocks thrown at me and I've heard wood knocks. I've not seen no UFO because I'm an avid hunter and I know every animal in the woods, and I know when something ain't right. So
now let's back up. You saw a Bigfoot
when I was younger.
Tell me about that.
I was probably 12, 13-year-old, and it was standing up beside a tree.
In Etowah?
South of Etowah. As a matter of fact, it's near Huber. Matter of fact, I had a.
Now wait a minute. You've lived in Etowah your whole life.
Yeah. So this would be.
You went to Etowah.
I went to Etowah City School, then I went to Macmillan Central High School. But I was 12-year-old. It was about dusk. And I seen it just stand up next to a tree. It was just like this right here. And it was there for a few minutes and it was gone. At that time, I said, oh, that's a bear. I've bear hunted for years since I've gotten older. There was no bear I saw. I know what I saw now. So, but I've never seen another one. I've had friends that seen them, but I've never seen another one after that. But
Now, when you say South Etowah, you're talking, there's a big expanse of land. I was looking on Google Maps.
it would actually be Delano, where J.M. Huber is. That's where the siding was at.
J.M. what?
Huber.
That's the
It's a chemical plant.
Chemical
there.
plant, yeah.
I think somebody else owns it now,
Yeah.
but it was Huber at one time.
So this was between 411
And the mountain.
and the mountain.
Yeah. That's where it took place.
There's a lot of land there.
a lot of land.
That goes through all the way to Webb Store,
Oh, yeah.
all the way to Polk County,
All the way to Tellico.
Tellico.
It just pretty much goes into the Georgia mountains. All the Appalachian mountains runs right on into the Smokies, up into the West Virginia.
Is
Just
that
keeps going.
all government property?
You've got a little bit of private land still in there. I've got a stepbrother that's got some land on top of the mountain there, a little cabin up in there, just a little couple of acres there, but most of it's all government land.
Would that include Green Cove, the Green Cove community? You know where I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I know exactly where it's at. Got a little pond up there on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Yep. I think, I'm pretty sure Green Cove is government property up there. Now Green Cove store and all that, that's private owned, but I still think that's the Cherokee National Forest up there where the pond and all that is.
Now, Kimsey Highway,
Yeah. Now it's Cherokee National Forest that runs through there too.
you've been through it?
Yeah, I've bear hunted all through there. So,
A lot of bear through there?
oh, a lot of bear. Yeah.
So how did you get into this wide range of paranormal? Do some people specialize in certain paranormal research? Like some people specialize in Bigfoot and some people specialize.
Yeah. You've got different, but usually when you say the paranormal, most of them are just ghost hunters, pretty much. On my team, I've got a cult specialist. I've got a psychic medium. I've got, I've got photographers. I've got, we've got the real deal. I mean, if you'd have seen my psychic medium at work last night, you'd have just said, wow. And she believes there's Bigfoot too. She believes in Sasquatch, but UFOs, I did see one of them too when I was probably about 5 years ago. It was something. I was sitting in my living room. My wife seen it a year before that. I didn't pay no attention to her. I went and told her what I just saw. She said, I told you that last year. I was sitting there, just sitting in my living room. It was dark outside. It's a big green light come down, just flashing. And I get up and look, what in the world's that? And all of a sudden it just darts. I don't know what it was. Was it alien? I don't know. It was something. Could have been a military, maybe. I don't know. But I went there and told her what I saw. She said, I told you I saw that last year, and you just didn't believe me. And I did. And I said, oh, you're crazy. But I sat there and seen it too. But
So as you sit here today, you're telling me there is ghost.
I can tell you your ghost. I can show you pictures.
You didn't bring one in with you or nothing.
Well, I hope not. But I can 100% promise you, guarantee you, they are demons and ghosts.
At night, this house was built in 1933. It was owned by Mr. Mitchell. And I'll be here some nights a little late, and I will hear somebody walking down the hall. I'll get up, because everybody's got a key to this place nearly, and I'll go in there, and there won't be anybody there.
Yeah.
And then one time I heard somebody say, hey, Dee, and I got up, walked in, and there was absolutely nobody here.
Well, here's what you don't want to do. If it's your own place, you don't want to investigate it. You don't want unless it's a real haunting that's got somebody's life in danger, or you're really scared. Because once you try to communicate, you just open the door up to a whole different world. Because they want to communicate with me. The next thing you know, you got this one, then you got this one, then you just opened up a whole can of worms there. So what's going on here? Just pay it no mind. Don't. Unless it gets bad, then you call me in.
And it may not be. It could be my imagination.
Well, it could. It
Could be the old house settling, But the only thing is, when they said "Hey Dee" that time, that was a little odd.
Well, it's like if you call me to your house, you got a home. First thing I want to know, what kind of medication you're on. I want to know. I want to know you seen the doctors or you on medication. I want to interview everybody in the house because sometimes this medication makes you see things, makes you hear things. You know, I'll do a regular investigation just like an officer would. We're gonna get all the information down. Then if we think it's a really haunting, then we'll come in and do what we got to do. Because some people they hear something. Oh God, I got a ghost. Well, I ain't got no ghost. It's just like what you just said, house selling or something.
So how do you factor ghost into this world that we think we know?
Now I'm gonna give you my opinion. If you want my opinion, I'm gonna give it.
I want your opinion.
A lot of
as
people,
a paranormal researcher.
A lot of people. Well, everybody's gonna have their own opinion. This is my opinion. I think I'm a Christian, and I base all my stuff off Christian. I think when you're dead, if you're a Christian, I think you're gone. I think you're out of here. I think, could you come back and visit a loved one once in a while? That I don't know. I mean, I might have to be dead to find out myself. But I think you've got the ghost. I think hell's here on earth. I mean, the Bible plainly tells you he threw them out, sent them down here. We got free will to serve who we want. And I'm going to give you evidence what I think this is real too here in a minute. All right, you've got ghosts that are good, that really communicate with you. Just like I was doing a home investigation and I had a spirit box. And there were some people in there, I really thought they was lying.
What's a spirit box?
A spirit box is a box that works on radio wavelengths and things, and it can draw spirits in. Matter of fact, I got an app on my phone I can let you all hear that works as good as any spirit box that you want. We make our own. It's just a box. It's got reverbs on it, and you have crystals on it and some wire, copper, and
what's it sensing?
What it does is it brings in energy. And it's got all kinds of radio wavelengths going through it, and the spirits are able to interpret it, and the energy brings them in, and they're able to talk through it. And we've also got
like you would a radio.
Yeah, and we've also got what you call a backwards box. We built it ourselves. It runs.
Can you get that?
No. It runs.
Turn it over.
Okay. It runs backwards. Everything just backwards. When a spirit comes through, it comes through just like we're sitting here talking. We make that. We make a star box. We make what you call an SLS Connect. It's you got your computer or your little laptop, little small laptop, and you'll have a Connect, which is with I think a Wii Connect, or I think they got them with Xbox now. And you just hook it up, and what it does, it will actually, if you watch how them connects will work, you can see it'll make you get lined up with the computer and get it all in where your bowling's right and this and that. Well, you can take that Connect.
Bowling
on these video games, but you can take that Connect, put the program in your computer, and you can go, and if there's a spirit there, it's going to put them in a stick form where they're sitting at or what they're doing, and you can ask the spirit, can you reach out and touch somebody, and then you'll see it reach out and touch somebody, so you know it's the real thing, it's listening to you, and this and that. That's the Connect. But now let's get back to what I was talking about, this ghost stuff, my opinion.
Now, is a ghost a spirit and a spirit's a ghost?
Yeah. But I think when you're my honest opinion, I think when you're a Christian, you're gone. Couldn't you visit? I don't know, maybe. I think you've got good ghosts that were good people in life, say like me and you, they were just good people. Then and they're good in the afterlife. They're good. They're good spirits that come in and communicate with you. Then you've got what the Bible says foul spirits. I think you've got they were mean in earth and they're mean now. And they're mean afterlife. They're just mean. They're just dirty spirits.
Were they people?
Yeah, they were people. Then you've got the whole different animal, the demon, the demonic part of it. And that's the one you don't want to mess with unless you have to. I've got pictures of demon. I got thrown through a wall, and I've got a picture of the one that threw me through the wall. On my phone, we got videotape. So and I had to go get shots in my back and everything. He'd like to kill me. And but I'm going to tell you why I think this. We was at this place, and I heard the screaming, tables being broke, everything just going crazy. Well, there's a psychic meeting there. He said, "You want me to tell you what that is?" I said, "Yeah, I'd like to know what in the world that is." He said, "That's these demons." He said, "These people didn't make it to heaven." He said, "They're bound to this earth. Therefore, the demons they got power over them. And they, at this point in time, they didn't like them communicating with us, so they were punishing them even more, putting them through hell." And it made sense because it was the ungodliest scream. Tables, it was like stuff getting broke. It was ungodly. And that's exactly what he told me. And it made sense what he was saying. And that's and kid spirits, when they're real small, I don't fall for that. I don't follow that. And if you're 10, 11, 12-year-old accountability age, you could still be here maybe, but little bitty babies and things, I think that's demons playing with you.
But a ghost is a spirit.
Yeah.
And a spirit is someone that lived before
Yeah.
and died.
Yeah.
And they have not, in your opinion, gone on to heaven.
Yeah.
They are in
But-
limbo.
Yeah, you could call it limbo. I don't think they made it to where we all want to get to. I mean, I don't know I'm going on my faith and what I believe and what I've saw and what I've dealt with. I don't think they made it. If they're bound here and they're here every day, I don't think they made it to where we all want to go after this afterlife.
But they are there. Whatever the reason they're
Yeah.
there, you're 100% right. They're there.
Oh, they're there. Oh,
Are they everywhere?
Yeah, they're everywhere. Their spirits everywhere. I can probably turn this app on this phone and probably go anywhere and get responses.
Now, what are they thinking?
Well, you've got intelligence and intelligent homes where they interact with you. Some of them may be mean, some of them may be good. They're intelligent. Then you've got residual homes. A residual home is like energy in our playing. We leave energy when we die. If you live here all the time and say you die tomorrow and you've been here for years, your energy's still here. Mm-hmm. Now, whether you're just going to be a residual haunt or not, that's here to be. I mean,
if somebody leaves a room is wearing perfume, you can still smell the perfume.
Yeah, well, I smelled perfume and cigars last night on that hunt. We was on. But residual's like a record player. At 9 o'clock tonight, this little girl may walk through this room. 9 o'clock tomorrow night, here she comes again. Like battlefields. I was at a battlefield 3 weeks ago. I could hear cannon fire and gunshots in the battlefield going off. That's a residual haunt. We got pictures of some soldiers. That's a residual haunt.
That's not really a person. That's a residual.
It's a residual haunt. They won't communicate with you. It's just like a record player.
Because they're not any person? Or is it like a... You mean an event?
Yeah.
A residual event?
Yes, and it just like a record player, the energy just keeps playing over and over. I mean, we were sitting there listening to cannon fire go off, gunfire. I got a picture of a slave.
So that's not any, in your opinion, that's not anybody. It's a residual energy.
Yeah, it's energy. That's all that is.
And those don't hurt us?
No, they can't communicate with you at all. No,
because they're not anybody. They're an event.
At one time it was, but it's just playing an event like you said. It's just the energy that we left, the impression that we left, and it just keeps playing.
And why do you hear them?
Why? What now?
You say you heard it. You hear them.
I don't have an answer for that.
Why don't I hear them?
Well, you could if you're at the right place.
You got to be at the right place at the right time and paying attention?
Yeah, there's not residual. They wasn't no worry about 3 weeks ago. I mean, you just be there, you'd have heard it. They wasn't.
If I wasn't looking for it, what would I be thinking I heard?
Well, you'd have thought you heard gunshots and cannons going off.
And I wouldn't have paid any attention, maybe?
You probably... Well, if you was there looking at the Civil War place, yeah, you'd have probably thought, wow, what was that? Mm-hmm. But you might have just brushed it off. But as soon as I heard it, I knew what it was. I said, my God, then you heard gunfire, then you heard another cannon going off. I mean, I knew what it was.
Now, when we go... all right, let's hold there a minute and go back to Bigfoot, because this is more interesting to me than Bigfoot. And I don't want to... So, Bigfoot, the people in Blue Ridge that have the museum, do they really believe there's a Bigfoot?
From what I can understand the time I've talked to them, yeah. I mean, they believe.
But when you follow these people that you know in your paranormal world, you think there's a Bigfoot still?
Do I think there's
Yeah.
one? Yeah, I believe there's one.
They'll finally find it with a picture or video.
I think they already have. I think the government will not let it out because if you do, logging will be done. If they ever say, yes, he's here, he exists, all the logging will stop because that's his territory. They're going to say, we can't cut these woods down no more. You're talking about places that they said, we can't cut all this down. We've got this big giant primate living here. We can't do that. But they've got DNA evidence. There's some good pictures out there. They've got, they've. I mean, I think they got footprints, even handprints, and you've got these dermal ridges. You've got them in your feet. You got them in your hands, and you can't fake that. I mean, you can't. You can even have a cast made where you've seen one's been hurt. You can see where it was injured in there. And
I've seen those pictures. Those are very convincing.
And everywhere's.
Now, does Bigfoot, does he hide? Is that why he's so aloof? Or Sasquatch, is he smart enough to say, hey, we won't go out over there, there's a lot of people?
Oh, yeah. I really think they got ones that watchers. It watches and keeps everything. That's why they do these signals. Whoops and knocks and things, they communicate with each other. And that's what I think they're doing, communicating with them.
Some of these books I've read said they put sticks up like a teepee in a tree. What's that? The ones I've seen doesn't look like they would shelter anything.
Those where they got the tree just laid down, I think they're markers myself.
For them.
Yeah, I think they're markers. Now they will make structures where a lot of sticks are around, like where they can crawl in, and maybe get shelter. I mean that's what it looks like to me.
Do you think they are just another animal that we haven't found?
Yeah, I believe they've been here for a long time. That's exactly what I think it is because. We've got probably 1.5 million, 2 million deer in Tennessee now, probably. And when you go hunting, unless you just want them real hot spots, but you can go in deer territory, you may sit there all day and not even see a deer. I mean, I've had deer walk within 20 feet of me and me not even know they're there. Same thing with a bobcat. I've raised bobcats before, and they're everywhere in Tennessee. But how many bobcats have you actually saw in the woods?
I don't know that I'd even know one from a cat.
You know, that's what I'm saying. There's mountain lions. I've seen 2 in my lifetime. Very elusive. So, to me, the Bigfoot's that way. They can climb up in trees. I mean, they know when you're, can I promise you and guarantee there's a Bigfoot? No, I can't.
Which would you be more sure of, that there's a Bigfoot or that there's paranormal?
Paranormal ghosts, demons. I know for a fact. I mean, I can't bring you the footage and the fact on the Bigfoot, but I can on the spirits. I mean, I've got the evidence to back it up 110%.
All right, so now how did you get into this?
When I was, I think, 15 years old, I was involved in I wasn't really involved in it, but I witnessed a demonic possession. And it shocked me, really. But, I mean, I seen good win out, and the demons got cast out of him. But it was almost like watching The Exorcist to me. It was bad. I mean, it was movie worthy. It was so intense. And ever since then, I was drawn to it, and I just started researching it and getting more and more experience with it, and that's what got me involved in it after that. Then I just started going to old places and doing my own thing when I was young. Then I would get this and I would see this. Then as I got more experience, and I just, it just got a little bit more deeper into it and learned a lot more. And
if there's a book about ghost or paranormal, you've probably read it. I
guess.
I
try. I try to read a lot of books. A lot of the shows on TV, I don't pay a lot of attention to.
Now those that like they're walking through the woods and ghost hunter, are those people real? Are those shows real?
The people are real. They're real ghost hunters, but they're taping a show, and I'm gonna explain the difference in my show and their show.
All right, but first you got to convince me that they're spirits. So we know what there's events.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the spirits.
Okay.
All right. Now what are they? Besides an event, they're now a person.
Yeah.
that was alive.
Yeah.
Years ago or centuries ago or 2 weeks ago?
It could be all the above. It could,
Do they know they're here?
yeah. Yeah, they know they're here. Yeah. They definitely know they're here.
Like the movie Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they realize everything. They know everything's going on. Some of them are stronger than others. Some of them are a lot stronger than others.
When you say stronger, what do you mean?
They've got a little more energy, I guess I want to say, where they can reach out and touch something or push you down or scratch you. And some of them, they just don't seem to have that kind of power, but all they can do is maybe pick them up on a voice, EVP, you know, or...
No rhyme or reason why one's more powerful than the other?
No, nobody really knows for sure. I mean, I mean, you couldn't get me to believe that they know for sure. Just some of them are, you know.
Not a good person or a bad person, or just some are stronger spirits?
Yes, I mean, I've had good ones strong and I've had bad ones strong. You know, I mean...
Now, if I've got a problem out here and I have a relative that's passed away, would that relative be able to help me in the situation if they wanted to? Would they have the ability?
Yeah.
To like do what?
Wake you up, say you was a fire. They've been times that, say, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he was in a wreck, a fiery crash. I think it was the IROC race. Car was on fire. He was getting burnt. To this day, you can interview him right now. You know who Dale Earnhardt Jr. is, don't you?
Yeah, I've heard that name, but
his dad, Senior, got killed at Daytona. I was there when he got killed and crashed in the wall. He swears to this day that his dad pulled him from that burning car and saved his life. And to this day, he swears that's what happened.
Now, this book, 90 Minutes in Heaven, the guy that died and wrote the book, is that, what's the difference? Now, he claims he went on to heaven.
Yeah.
Is that part of the paranormal? Or is that an afterlife thing? Or is that different?
So this is the guy who wrote the book, but he come back. He didn't.
Yeah, 90 minutes. He wrote a book. He was dead for 90 minutes.
You know,
he was very convincing.
Yeah, I don't know if I've read that one, but I've read some other ones that's happened. I mean, I'm not going to say they didn't do that. I mean, I'm going to tell you, what I've seen in the paranormal world, anything's possible.
So you believe, other than the 90 minutes in heaven and the after, the dead and came back alive, you're still more convinced that paranormal spirits are here.
Oh, yeah.
And they know they're here.
Oh, yeah.
And they're trying to help me?
Not necessarily trying to help you. I mean, if there's a situation going on and this person really knows you.
Well, say I died and I was. Are all people that die become spirit? Oh, you
Your
said
spirit. Yeah,
some are going on to heaven. Some are still
that's
looming.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not agree with me, but that's my opinion, and I've got things to back it up. But you know, it's this paranormal. It's a fine line. I mean, it's the paranormal world is strange. I mean, it's.
Now, how do you know that the spirit that you're sensing is? How do you know who it is?
You asked it questions and it did answer you. Well, that's through the spirit box.
Audible. With an audible voice?
Audible voice, or you can actually get disembodied voices. Just like we're sitting here talking, and you can hear one say something to you. Like you said, you heard somebody say something.
Yeah.
That's considered a disembodied voice. That you heard it with your own ears. You didn't have to do it audible. So, you know, and they'll come through the spirit boxes. That's an easy way to do it, through a spirit box.
It amplifies it.
Yes, it'll come through there. And
so now, if these spirits can do anything, why do they need to come through the box?
That's a hard question, though. What that box does is it helps them communicate. The thing about
through electricity.
Yes, electricity, water. You'll get a lot more activity around water, around electricity sometimes, than you will without all that, because that pulls in energy, and they're able to form more.
I can see electricity, but Well, how does water pull in more? Like it rains more around water, around rivers. I know it rains more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an answer for that really. I'm not really looking. I just know that if there's a lot of water involved, it seems work like energy. It draws the spirit more. It just does. I don't have an answer for that. That's something I'm not really researching on it.
But this box allows them to come in and amplifies their energy.
There's a new app for your phone called the Spiritus.
Spiritus?
Spiritus app. It's called Spiritus app. I mean, you got to know how to work it. But these new phones now, I'll put it up against $1,000 spirit box, and I've got the big spirit boxes. But I'd rather use this right here with that Spiritus app than that, because this here I can take anywhere with me. I don't have to set it up.
What's it sensing?
It ain't that it's really sensing. It's bringing all these radio wavelengths through there, and the spirits they just come into it and they just able to talk. I mean, they can come through your car radio.
But some don't. If you hear some out.
All of them, no, you can hear them out, but all spirits can talk through a spirit box if they want to. But you're not always going to hear somebody say, "Hey, Larry," or "Get out." I walked in a place one time and said, "Get out," real bad.
I would get out.
Yeah, well, I did. No, I been on in there anyway. But it's you need to go with me sometime.
So now maybe if a relative has died, according to your theory or your understanding now, is if they went to heaven, then they might not be here to help.
Yeah, this is one that I don't think nobody really knows on this one. There's a possibility. Maybe they could come back and visit. Maybe they could come back and help you for a day if you need it. But are they going to stay here like a regular ghost does that didn't make it? No, they're not. They're gone, man. Why do they want to come back to this earth again? They're not going to be.
You know, something I have really had it's happened every time. I don't mean sometimes. I mean every time. But if I have a really good friend that I'm close to dies, then within a couple of weeks, the thing that I was having a problem with that they knew about, it usually is in a lot better position within 2 weeks. So I don't know if, I've just noticed that. I don't know if that, it's like they helped me with like they were granted one wish and they helped me with that thing that they knew.
Yeah.
Is that a coincidence or is that?
I think it really is. I think you really are getting help. I do. I think you are.
So why would they not help me? That's a short period of time.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just looming for a while and then they go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think so. I think if you're dead, you're gone up there. If you're a Christian, I don't think you're just going to loom around unless you just didn't make it. From the Bible that I know, no, I think you're gone. But listen, can I guarantee that? No, I can't. I can guarantee you there's demons and spirits, but I can't guarantee do they loom here a little bit? I don't know, because that's your salvation. Did you make it? I may die today, and everybody say, "Well, Gouge went to heaven." Mm-hmm. But did they really know what's in my heart? Maybe I did.
Maybe you did.
That's what I'm saying. So nobody really, until you're dead and gone, I'm not going to have that answer on that one at all. But I can tell you 100% they are ghosts and they are demons. I can tell you.
Do you have any that, do you have anybody come to you and say, "Hey, I've got a relative that died and I want to talk to him"?
Yes, but I don't do that.
What do you call that?
That is almost psychic medium help.
Which is another paranormal thing, right?
Yeah, I've got a good one on my team, probably one of the best in the world. I mean, I'll put her up against anybody. And she don't like doing that either. And, what she does is she'll go in and she just picks up where the spirits come and talks to her. Just like we was there last night, and she picked up on all of it, and the owners of the place backed it up 100%, all the information she had. But
was it saying anything of any significance?
Yeah, there was a guy named what was his name? Felix, I think, maybe Felix. There was a spirit there who was telling her that he raped her. Plain as day, and she felt it. I mean, she was in tears. She felt it all there. And he would come in on the. What we'd do is she'd put a headset on. She couldn't hear none of us. We'd go off in another room. We'd have videotape. We would ask the questions, and boom, she would give you it would come through her, and she'd talk, and she would give it out. So there was no denying it. We was getting the answers to what we was asking. See what I'm saying? And you're sitting there, wow. And here's the one that blowed my mind last night. Her name is Jessica Potter. She's wonderful. She kept seeing Marilyn Monroe, and she said, "This lady here, Emily." She seen Bing Crosby, because they all movies together. She said, "This lady," and there's nothing in the history of this place to show this, but the owner of the building had a picture that nobody knew about. And she kept saying, "This lady, Emily, was friends with Marilyn Monroe." And we all thought, "Jessica, come on, you've lost your mind now." Well, we took a break. She went in there, and that person went to his office, a locked office, brought a picture and laid it down. There's Emily and Marilyn Monroe. I said, wow. Wow. I mean, she really, at first she was almost questioning herself. She was thinking, Marilyn Monroe in Harriman, Tennessee, friends with this Emily girl. And I don't know if Marilyn was in Harriman, but Emily was there. But they were friends. Bing Crosby was brought into it. When that lady brought that picture out, everybody just thought, wow. And this socket of mine did not know nobody. But to get back where I was at, yes, people ask me all the time to do that. And do I have the things to communicate? Yes, I do. But I'm going to tell you why I will not do it. Because demons will play with your emotions. They will trick you, especially about a loved one. I had a lady call me about 2 years ago from Etowah. Her daughter is dead. Her little girl keeps playing with somebody and talking, and she says it's her mama. And she wanted to know if I would come and talk to her. I said no. I said, it's not healthy for your daughter. I said, I will come and get rid of what that is, or try to get rid of it. Oh no, that's my daughter. I said, don't believe that. You don't always believe that's your daughter. I said, demons will make friends with your kids. They want to show the good side, and they'll trick you. And that's what I tell everybody. I said, no, I won't do that. Now, a good socket medium like I got, now they could do that and get away with it. I'm not dependent on. But would I talk to what they're talking to? Oh, sure. I've got the means and equipment to find out exactly and have a conversation with them.
What would the conversation be like? I mean, what's the most significant conversation you've had with?
God, I mean,
was anything material, like bet on the, put your money in the stock market?
No, I don't. We had one saying, say the Lord's Prayer the other day. We've had them sing some Christian songs, and we've had them sing, but as a betting on things like that, or now we did have one last year that said it was talking about the future. It was talking about war and different things coming and things in the future. It was talking about it. Mm-hmm. Now, we did have that the other day. I thought that was neat. That's probably the first one I've ever had do that. It was talking about things that was actually going on now. And honestly, it even said, it sort of leaned like that Trump would still be president. I mean, and which I think he will too. And it went on that things are going to, it's going to get good, then things are going to get bad again on different things. Which heck, it don't take a genius to figure that out. But then this spirit was talking about stuff like that, and we've got it all recorded. So and you can hear it talk.
Does it sound like a regular voice?
Yeah. Oh yeah, just like us sitting here talking. Yeah. And you don't usually get long 10-word sentences. Sometimes I may get 4 words or 5 words, but usually it's just a couple of words. Then and you ask another question, you'll get the next 2 words or something like that. And that's usually how it works when you're talking to them and things like that. But as of talking, but people ask me all the time, and I won't. I say, no, I'm not going. You need to go find you a medium somewhere that might want to help you. I said, I can't I don't do stuff like that. So
You know what people would give to be able to communicate with a loved one that's died. You couldn't put a price on it, could you?
no, and honestly, last night at the railroad tracks up here where we was at in Harriman, my cousin Pam was coming through to me. The medium seemed to think it was really her. She was killed in a car wreck, said that she's seen her head. I said, that's how she got killed, in her head. And me and Pam was close growing up. She got killed in the car with best friends. And she said, Pam's here. Then it came through the spirit, Pam? She kept saying, Pam, Pam, Pam. And finally I said, is that you, Pam? You know, and he goes, yes. And, you know, and I talked to that medium. I said, what do you think? She said, I think it's Pam. I said, I think it's Pam. And now that happened last night.
Now, how do you get them to talk to them? You take that box.
Take that box.
Or
like
what
I
if you
said,
don't have the box? Can you still pull them up?
Yeah. If you don't have the box, take your voice recorder, lay it down.
Let's say I don't even want to do that. We just wanted to bring one up right now. Could we bring up?
Oh yeah, you can bring up spirit, but you don't want to do it the way you don't bring it up.
But you don't know. You can't bring up a particular one, just a spirit.
Without having some kind of help to deal with it, yeah, you can conjure them up. I mean, you can use Ouija boards. You can use seances.
Now, what is a Ouija board? I've seen that in my whole. Where you go like this.
A Ouija board. If you know what you're doing, 110%. You better know what you're doing. But if you don't, you're fixing to open up a portal from hell.
Say you don't know what you're doing.
You better take it out there and bury it face down and cover it up. Pour salt on the ground.
Where does the Ouija board originate?
You know what? We talked about this 2 months ago, and I had it, and I knew it, and I can't remember now. But you can make one yourself. It ain't that hard. But it's just like a seance. You're sitting there. And you're talking to these spirits, and the board really works. But here's the problem.
Well, what does the board look like? It's got letters on it?
It's got letters, and you've got these eyeballs and this and that. You got this.
Then everybody puts their hands on it?
And that thing just start moving, and it starts doing these words.
So you'd put your hand on it, it'll move my hand over?
Yep. The energy,
to the letters?
Yeah, to move it to the answer you want to know.
So if you was wanting to build a Ouija board, you get a piece of plywood and put A, B, C, D, E, F, G?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, these spirit boxes, to me, just like this phone right here, with that app on it, is a modern day Ouija board.
But let's say you had a Ouija board and you had A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
Would it go to?
Yeah.
It doesn't put it in commas?
No.
What about?
There's a yes, and there's no, and things like that on it too. When you
Okay.
ask a question, it'll go yes.
It doesn't have a space and a capital.
No.
So if you don't know what you're doing, you could think it's leading your hand to the yes or to the no.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say there's one demon, particularly with that board. It's named Zozo. You can look it up.
Zozo.
Zozo with a Z.
Z-O-Z-O.
Yep. Now you can read it up on the internet. You can look at it. That right there is a main demon. It's associated with the Ouija board. I was in an investigation in Polk County, and the people was with me. And I kept asking them, I said, and I got grabbed by the arm, pulled around that house. Bugs were crawling all over the walls. And this was a nice home. It was demonic activity. Big black mass was coming out of the ceiling. And I was down in the basement. And these two people were behind me. I thought they were lying to me. And I go, what is going on here? Something don't feel right. And a female voice come through my spirit box. Ouija board. I turned around and looked at them. I said, who's used a Ouija board here? She says, what are you talking about? I said, you didn't hear that female say Ouija board? You mean we got a recorder going? You want me to show it back, play it back to you? They said, we ain't done that. 2 days later, one of my teammates worked at the courthouse in Polk County. And she said, Larry, you sitting down? I said, why? She said, there was a Ouija board used there, and that's what's wrong with that house. That's why I won't go back, because they lied to me. If you tell me the truth, I'll help you. If you lied to me, I'm not going to go back, because I put myself in danger, because I know a lot got killed before. And I'm not going to put myself in danger. You got to be honest with me when I asked you if you had a Ouija board. Tell me you used a Ouija board so I know what you unleashed in this house. And what they unleashed was hell in that house. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, they was roaches. But, I mean, coming up everywhere, the floors, the walls, this big black mass, and I got jerked around by the arm.
And you're serious as a heart attack.
Well, I can show you pictures. What threw me through the wall on my phone right now. Yeah, I'm serious. I'm 100% serious, and I can bring witnesses in. Well, yeah, I'm serious.
Now, a Ouija board, if you had a spirit, you could call it in, and it.
Yeah, but what you're going to call in is probably not what you want to talk to. It's going to act like it's your loved one. It really is. I mean, demons
The Bible says don't deal with mediums. I guess that's the reason.
And they say that, but the mediums that I use don't go trying to tell futures. And I've talked to my medium about that, and she knows my feelings about that, what the Bible says. Because I have a hard time with mediums, and we've talked, and I've watched her act. She said, Larry, you notice I don't go in and try to conjure up a spirit. I said, no. She said, it just hits me. And she said, and she said, that's where, she said, I've done it since I was a little girl. And, but they're the real deal. The future teller, the fortune tellers and things like that, you want to stay away from them.
Are they trickery or are they conjuring up?
Most of them are trickery and conjuring. They're here to make a buck.
Are there some that are really pulling something up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's some. There's definitely some. It's pulling stuff up.
I know a person. I won't say it is that goes to one fairly regular.
And, you get some good information.
And they get some really. It is strange how it is. It does seem to jive.
Some of them are good, but like my psychic medium on my team, if you asked her, do you read me? What do you get? She'll read you, and she'll tell you no tarot cards and all this crap.
Does tarot cards, are they real?
Yeah, they're real. All that is, I mean, to me, that's witchcraft. All that is.
Where did the tarot cards come from?
I think they originated with voodoo and things like that, I believe.
Now, some people can read cards that are just regular cards, can't they? Is that a real thing?
You talking about regular cards?
Yeah, like the gypsies. They'd always read your card. Was the gypsies used?
Well, yeah, that's tarot cards, pretty much.
It's not just cards.
No. It's not like not playing cards.
Yeah.
No. It's usually it's got certain symbols on it and things. Yeah, that's what they read. It's pretty much like that. Gypsies, voodoo, different things. It's old school tarot cards. I mean, there's some people that's good at it, but I've never had mine read, and I won't do it.
What about palm reading?
Yeah, I mean it's real too. I mean, a lot of them fake. There's a lot of fakes out there. You got to find a good one. I don't believe in that, and I don't fool with that either. That's just something I'm against that. I don't fool with that at all.
And maybe there's no benefit anyway. I mean, unless you're going to talk to a dead relative or get some help or win the lottery, there's really a point.
Yeah. And can you talk to a dead relative? I'm not saying you can't. A lot of people say, "Oh, this medium here, she knows it all." Well, a demon, you don't think a demon can trick that medium just like she could marry you? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it can. I know it because I've dealt with them. I know how they are. They're liars. They're liars. They're trickery, and now they'll fool you. And you'll think they're the real deal. You'll think that they're just the best thing there was. You're talking to your daddy. You're talking to your brother, your kid. And who you talking to? You're talking to a demon sitting there tricking you. And that's why you got to be careful about this stuff. And that's why the medium I got, I think she's the real deal. She don't fool with that. If anything that she picks on, it's not right or dark, she tries to get away from it in a hurry. She won't fool with it. Can she be tricked by something? I'm sure she can. I mean, we're talking about demons. I'm sure she can be tricked.
Where did you find her?
I found her through my event company, Haunted Adventures. I was needing one to do events.
Now explain the Haunted Adventures.
Haunted Adventures is an event company. You lease out a haunted place.
Now you're based out of Etowah?
Yeah.
Or just P.O. Post Office?
Out of Etowah, but Sandy in Alabama runs Haunted Adventures.
All right, now explain to that. You're in Etowah. Was this your first venture?
No, Star Mountain Paranormal was my first.
All right, let's start with that. I looked that up on the internet, and it actually put a dot right over there.
Etowah?
Yeah, it put a dot, Star Mountain. So that was your first venture?
Well, it wasn't first thing that I just made public out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So what window was this year? What year was this?
You know, it's I've always had a paranormal team, but I think I joined Facebook 3 or 4 years ago, and then I put it on because I mean I've always had the team, but I never put it out
Now, Star
there.
Mountain Research Center. Let me back up. I was going to Jasper,
Yeah.
and I called and told them to give me an address of the hospital in Jasper, and they gave me the address to an old hospital in South Pittsburgh. So I put it in the GPS.
That's a wicked place.
And it took me to that place, and I thought I was at the wrong place, and they were outside taking a smoke break, and they said, "What can we help you?" And I said, "I'm here to see so and so," and they said, "We never heard of him. This is paranormal. This is Paranormal Research Center."
It used to be Old South Pittsburgh Hospital until Ron took it over.
Is that haunted?
It's worse than haunted. I like to get killed in that place. It's bad. It's a bad place.
What is that? Events or spirits?
That's spirits. I mean, I'm sure there's some events that goes on there, but there's a lot of demonic activity goes on in that place.
How did he get the place? Is he
I guess-
leasing it? Is he leasing the haunted house?
No, a friend of mine, Stacy, she run a business out of it. Her ex-father-in-law owned the building.
The old hospital.
Yeah, he
Why
owned
would
it.
he own?
He was a doctor,
Okay.
and he had it, and he got behind on taxes, and the IRS had a lien on it. Stacy still leased it out for hunting ghosts. She'd let people come in, they'd pay her
But what?
to hunt it.
So he
So the IRS just took it from him.
the IRS took it.
They took it from him, then they put it up for auction,
Okay.
and that's when Ron bought it.
About what year?
That's probably been close to 2 years ago, I think, close to it. Somewhere.
Just
in there.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's been over that.
Was it occupied prior to that?
Yeah, Stacy run it. It was called Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. I had a key to
Was
the
it-
building. I can go if I want to.
What was it? A hospital then?
Yes, the hospital had a little mental ward in it too. Yeah,
All right. So that ended 2 years ago.
yeah. Then that's when Ron took it over.
And you think it is haunted?
There's no thinking to it. I know it is.
If I go over there, will I see a haunted person?
you go in there and stay there. Yeah, yeah.
Say I went in there and got a drink of water and came out.
Well, you might not like that. You might not. It just depends.
How long would I have to stay?
Well, you might walk door and it might hit you in the face. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, you may be in there an hour. You may be in there.
Why
10
that
minutes.
place?
A lot of bad stuff went on in that place. It's just, I've never been to a hospital or a mental institution or a jail or prison that's not haunted. A lot of death. They had shock treatment in that hospital.
Are you
years ago.
thinking that? Sounds like all the paranormal events that you're mentioning happened after bad events like a war, a mental institution, etc.
Yeah, well, that seems to bring on a lot of the bad hauntings because tragedy. Tragedy brings on a lot of it.
I wonder why that is.
A lot of hurt. I don't think nobody really has an answer for that. Just a lot of hurt and tragedy. But it don't necessarily what brings it on. I've been to houses it's haunted by where there wasn't no tragedy. I've got a friend up in Sweetwater, Tennessee. They've got a old home and it's haunted, but and stuff goes on all the time there. There's not been no tragedy in that house.
So when did Star Mountain Research Center?
Star Mountain probably started when I was probably in my 20s, but when I joined Facebook, it's when I made it public on Facebook.
So you've had that since in your 20s?
Oh yeah, I've had.
What is it?
I named it after Star Mountain there in Etowah.
I saw a picture of it on Google Maps.
Yeah, Star Mountain Paranormal Research and Investigations. It's where we do paranormal research.
Paranormal research of the area.
No, anywhere. So we've been out of state.
So that's your office.
Yeah, I just out of my house. I don't charge nobody for this one.
But we're Star Mountain Research Center. Where when I put it in on Google Maps, it takes me to that dot.
Yeah,
Is that where you live?
Yeah, that's my home.
Okay, so you like operate out of there.
Yeah, but it's not what you think. It's I've just got my equipment. We don't charge nobody. If you call me and say I've got problems, I don't care if it's out of state. I don't charge nobody to help them. I don't make money off people that's got problems.
Do they come there?
No, they just give me a call, and I've had people show up. Yeah, I've had people show up at my house, but usually they just give me a call first.
So
or
the research center is just it's not a place you go like at South Pittsburgh.
No. Of course, now I've got an office, I've got computers, I've got equipment, I got everything set up.
But you don't come there because it's haunted.
No, not my
Okay.
place. No. This is my own personal home.
So you go other places.
Yeah. So you call me and say, hey, I need you to come help me. I got problems here. I say, okay, we'll come down there and talk to you.
How many do you have of those a year?
On investigations?
Yeah.
You could have anywhere from.
I mean, how many would you say you've had in the last 12 months? Well, COVID. So let's say.
Well, COVID ain't really stopped it. So.
It ain't stopped it?
No.
Do they wear a mask at when they ghost hunt?
No, we don't do none of that. We're Trump supporters.
Oh.
We don't wear masks. We don't wear masks. But no.
Do you think Trump's going to win?
I think he's going to win hands down.
It's not going to be any. It's going to be. He's going to win so big.
It's going to be embarrassing.
It's going to be embarrassing.
Yep.
And I just. Have you seen? I'm not a Twitter guy.
I ain't either.
But I did look on Twitter, and Biden has 9.6 million Twitter followers. And you think that's good, but then you go to Trump, he's got 86 million Twitter followers.
Well,
now they tell me that he might not win because of his tweets.
Yeah.
It doesn't, I mean,
Here's the thing.
when you think a guy that had 86 million tweets, that people don't
but
have a problem with the tweets?
Have you ever been to New York?
Yeah.
You know a lot of New York people. They're rude. They're crude.
Yeah.
They just say what's on their mind.
Yeah, about like a roofer.
And that's the way Trump is. And you can't hold that against him. That's just the way he is.
I think he calms it down some.
Yeah, he does. He has. But that's how he is. He's not a politician, but he loves his country, and I think he'll do everything he can to make our country great.
Nobody can say that he does not want to make America great again. I mean, he's drilled that in our heads, and I believe
I think he's a great guy.
You know, during the worst parts of COVID, 1st of March to, I guess, the middle of June, nobody knew. I didn't know if they were going to, nobody knew. Everybody was literally scared to death.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were, but every day at 5.
Couldn't find toilet paper.
They couldn't find toilet paper. It was really, really strange.
But you know what? I never one time was scared. I never one time bothered.
And I've got a theory about that. My theory is, during that period, for about 45 days, you could go home, and about 5:30, he would get up in front of the American people every day. Remember that? It was even Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, I remember.
And he would talk positive. He'd talk about how we're going to beat this, and he'd give you updates. And he had the scientist on there. He had Fauci and had the lady, and he had other people. And I almost think that he, even though he didn't know, he was keeping everybody aware.
Yeah. I believe in herd immunity, and that's the reason we're still playing football. I believe the virus is real. I may die tomorrow since saying this, but
knock on wood.
Are
you superstitious?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I don't think the virus. I think if you're an older person, really, I'm older than us, you got a lot of health issues. I think it can be bad, just like the flu can. I've got a brother-in-law. It's a doctor, and he believes in herd immunity too. You've got to get out here. The germs got to get around you. It's got to go. You're never going to get immune to it. It's called herd immunity. That's why we went back and started coaching football. That's why we opened football up and started doing so. The boys, if you stay locked up in quarantine for a year, then you go out in the public, you'll catch every sniffle.
I almost wonder about doing that Perel every 15 minutes. I wonder about, I don't know, I worry about maybe that's keeping you from getting immune to other stuff.
It could. I don't know, but I'm a firm believer in that herd immunity. I really think that, I think my wife and son had it back in January. Their doctor said They're almost positive they had it now because they tested negative for flu.
Well, my
negative
son
for
had the
everything.
same thing. He tested him for flu 2 or 3 times, didn't have it, and he had every symptom that they're saying
They were
you had.
well.
And
Now, every symptom, you can have a broke fingernail and it's considered COVID. I mean,
Yeah.
have you seen the symptom list?
yeah, it's like 110 things.
I mean, come on,
I mean,
man.
one of them's out of breath while dying.
Yeah.
I don't know how you can die without being out of breath.
I don't know. So, I still think it's a scare. I think there's a bigger picture going on. I think it's I may be wrong, maybe a liar, but I really think after this election, I think the COVID is just going to be like the flu. I think it's just going to start going. I don't think you're going to hear about it as much. I really don't. I think I may be wrong.
I think you're right.
I think it's just.
I think
I
you're
think
right.
it's still a disease. Things will be around, but I think Trump's in here now. I think it's just going to start gradually, just like the flu. I think it's still going to be here. Well, I got COVID today. Go get me a shot. That's what I think. Of course, I'm not going to take no vaccine. I don't even take flu vaccines, but that's what I think. I really do. I mean, I may be wrong, but I've been wrong before.
My theory is that it was really strong in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that it has weakened.
Yeah.
Like you pour Kool-Aid in a bottle, and the more water you put in it, the more diluted it gets. So I think that it's losing its. I think it's spreading itself out and just because you don't hear of people having it bad.
Not much, unless they've really got some health issues. My dad's 75, and in this business we got that I'm taking over him, he still gets out once phone goes. He'll put his mask on. We'll get in the house, he'll take it off. Then he's up here, he's doing this, he's doing this. I said, why you got that mask? Throw the thing in the garbage, Daddy. I said, you've done touched everything. You've been in these people's house, you've got your mask off. I said, you've not gained nothing here. I said, you've wore stuff. I said, we're riding down the car and you've got a mask on. We get out and go to the house, you got a mask off.
Yeah.
I said, Daddy, come on. I'll give him a hard time all the time. But honestly, he's 75 with a lot of health issues. He probably don't need to be out even the flu season right now because one dose of something back could really kill him.
I went to Starbucks this morning, and the lady, you stand at this glass, and I told her what I wanted, I handed her my money. Then she made my change and handed it to me around the plexiglass. And then there's nobody there. It's at 8 o'clock, 8:05 in the morning. There's nobody there. Then after she put it in the cup, then she said, I've got to hand it to you through here. So she walked to the end and she handed it to me over there. I thought, boy, you can sell people on anything.
Well, what I think all this stuff is, it's just like everybody going this way. Everybody doing. I think that's why it's worldwide. I think this is the thing. I really do. The mask and all this, just to see how many people will comply. Because they want the New World Order to come in. They want everybody to be on the same money. They want everything to be the same. And I think, that's why they're checking all these countries. How many people's going to comply here? Is these people going to do this? Is these people going to do that? We're going to have to fight with these people. That's why I really think the Democrats fight so hard to get our guns and everything, because you disarm a country, your country's gone. I mean, seriously, that's the only thing. That's why Japan would never attack us on land, because I forgot what general it was. I'm a history nut, but I remember reading it. He said because everybody had a gun in every house. He said we couldn't win.
I think that's why in the Constitution they said right to bear arms.
Yeah.
Because you got to defend yourself.
Yep. I've got a lot of guns, so I believe in my guns. So, and yeah, I do. I think everything's control. I think it's all control. Are there going to be a world government one day?
Now, are you a conspiracist theory by nature?
No, there's a lot. No, not really. Not really. It's just things that I see that I really think's going on.
Now, Mark Twain said in one of his books, he said, I'm not superstitious, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Was it Mark Twain?
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
I think it might have been.
But when I walk into a building, I always leave the same path.
See, I don't.
The superstition is that if you go out of another door, then it's something that the spirit won't follow you if you go in and out the same door. So you're not into any of that.
No, I'm not into nothing like that.
You're into what you consider are, in your opinion, facts that you have that you know.
Oh yeah.
Not superstition.
No.
Not throwing salt over your shoulder.
No.
Not Bigfoot pictures online.
Yeah.
Not tarot cards. You're saying you know the paranormal is spirits because you have your own proof, like it or not.
Yeah. I'll take that to my grave. I know for a fact. When you get picked up and thrown as far here to that little wood rack there.
And that wasn't just a gust of wind.
No.
I mean, you look big enough to not be just.
No, and I've got a picture of what threw me on my phone. we got exactly what it's a demon.
Can you play, not pictures, but can you play sounds of spirits?
I don't know if I got any sounds on my phone right now, but yeah, I mean, I've got them on my computer at home. I would have brought them.
But you don't have any download on.
No, I don't think I got no. I got pictures of ghosts and things that I've got, but I don't think I got.
Can
any.
you get that, Gwen? If we show that up, can you send it to him? All right, just hold it up.
Okay, let me find here. I've got several ones on here. First, I'll show you what threw me through the wall here.
You may get it your bottle opener.
No,
for that?
I'm good.
Well, how you gonna open it? It's
Oh, okay.
I took the bottle cap.
I'm fine right now. That's what I'm saying. Here is a guy I got the Civil War graveyard the other day. It's faint. Let me get a little more light on this phone.
Now explain where you're at.
This is Rippavilla Civil War Plantation. This
Where
is in Spring Hill, Tennessee.
Rippavilla.
Rippavilla.
How?
We're going back there October the 9th to do a TV show. And right there is a slave standing down there by the cemetery. See?
Is that a real picture?
That's a real picture.
You're.
So help me God. That's a real picture. But I'm going to show you something even better. Oh, that's a real picture.
Oh, hold that up. Hold that up. Show that where.
You can see him standing down there. See, yeah, it looks good on there. Now I'm going to show you some better.
Who was that? So
he was at a
just,
slave cemetery.
did you just call them up, or were you just there?
No, we had actually communicated, but also we just taking pictures. You always want to take pictures in 3s or 5s. One picture and there's something there, you can't. But if you've got click, 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 click.
What do you mean? You hit that on your phone where it says what do they call that?
You want to take like 3 pictures or 5 pictures.
You mean you just go? Psh, but
Yeah.
you couldn't do it on a cell phone. You had to go.
Yeah, I had to go click, 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 take it 3 times. Because if it's an ever frame, it's probably not a ghost. You've got something else there. But if it's in not there, boom, not there, you probably got the real thing. That's just how it is.
All right, so if I was to look like this, then you're saying if it was there, I might not even notice anyway.
You might not. You might not. That's why you
Now,
got.
do they know? Does this person there, that ghost in there?
Does it know we was there?
Yeah.
That particular one there, I can't tell you for sure. Now here's a female ghost there. You can see her. See, you can see her arm there. We communicated with her. You can see her arm hanging
There's
there.
her right leg, and right there's her left leg.
You can see her arm right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got better than this. I'm saving the better ones to last. You know. And that was a pretty nice spirit there.
All right.
We'll get the little more sinister ones here in a minute. Man, I wished I'd known. I'd have brought all kinds.
Do you take it with this phone?
Yeah, it's a good phone. Look, he's
Now, how do you know when to click?
Look, he's standing behind it. Like that right there was a mean son of a gun too.
Where at?
Right there, standing behind her. There, it's standing.
That's not as convincing.
But it's
The
real.
other two,
Yeah.
that first one looked really weird.
Well, that one right there, I've encountered it 3 times.
That looks like you could be in the mirror taking a picture.
Yeah, well, that's not though. It's the real. Cause
Right.
I've got other pictures of this one, but I'm gonna show you some even better ones here in a minute. See, look, this little girl I got right here. See her eye. See her. I'm gonna tell you how I took that one. I was at Sims
She's
Grave.
got her head like this.
At Sims Graveyard. You ever heard Grace Sims, the tragedy in Tin Can Hollow?
No, where's that?
It's in Meigs County. She used
Where's
to.
Tin Can Hollow?
It's in Meigs County, over in
Where?
Decatur, over there off I think No Pone Valley Road. Well, what it was is she was a serial killer, and she's buried down. And she killed.
Now, what year?
God, it's been
I
bad.
mean, she was a serial killer from Meigs County?
Yeah, Mac me and Meg. We're talking about way back in the
Like
teens and 20s. Yeah.
1800s?
Maybe the late 1800s, early 1900s in there. Well, what she would do is she would bring in rich men, she'd get their money, and she'd feed them to her hogs.
That's the way most women do.
But listen, there's a real documentary on this. So you can read
Now,
it.
what's her name?
Gray Sims.
Gray Sims.
Yep, I was just...
Who they did a documentary or a movie? Or
there was a documentary and they were a book on it. I read the book. And
which is better, the book or the documentary?
I like the book better. But we was sitting there and just in the car, and I was just taking pictures. And
So you go out there because you knew that.
Yeah, it's haunted. Then I had the side view mirror here. This picture showed that she was standing right behind me at the back door of that picture.
God,
right
that's just...
there she stood. I was just sitting there looking. I said, "Whoa!" And I turned around and looked. And I couldn't see my eyes right there. You can see her black eyes and everything.
That's taken in your rear view mirror.
I was
back
just
behind
taking
you.
in the side mirror on the right side of the car. Boom! It picked it. When it hit that, it bounced off, and there she was standing back there. But now I'm gonna get to some more here. Just hold on just a sec here. I wished I'd known. I'd brought my computer. And how you talk about? You'd have really been convinced when I left.
When you raised your right hand, I was pretty convinced.
Well, I ain't gonna lie.
Something else too. I've been talking off and on to you for 2 weeks, and you always call back. You always text back, and so you can't be.
This is what
really
threw me.
crazy.
This is what threw me. It's pitch black dark in there. Our special cameras got it. Look at that. Look at that head. Look at them horns. Look at that thing.
Yeah.
That like to killed me. That was a demon.
So you took this.
We had other cameras that picked it up in there, and
Did you take this picture?
No, we had cameras that took it in there. It was our cameras.
Yeah.
So,
you didn't like take the picture and then it threw you.
No.
This is taken by somebody else.
Yeah. We had special cameras. It was click, 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 getting this stuff, and all of a sudden I got slammed. I had to go get shots in my back. It messed my spine up and everything.
This was where at?
South Pittsburgh Hospital. That like to kill me. I ain't gonna kid you right now. That like to kill me.
So did you see this or did you just feel it?
I felt it.
You didn't see this picture then?
No, I didn't even know it was there until they said, "Whoa, come here, look what's standing here," and I knew for a fact what done it.
So was you walking?
No, we was just standing there, and I done what I shouldn't have done. I provoked it.
What did you do?
Just what did I do? Just pretty much aggravating. I knew something was there, and just getting hateful with it and things like that. Next thing you know, I went head first into this wall, and I couldn't. And I mean, it was a force like I've never been hit before. And I've played football. I've done martial arts. I've done law
And
enforcement.
nobody pushed you?
No, I mean, I was 240 pounds. Picked me. I was airborne into the wall, airborne. And we got my buddies got cameras. We got cameras. They watch them. They said. He just goes, "Wow." He said, "Larry, you got to come see this."
Now, most people would think that you're crazy.
I know, but I mean, they probably do.
And that's because you go to these places.
Yes, my mama don't like it. My wife don't like it. They don't like it.
But if I went, I'd be convinced.
Yeah, I could take you
Turn that over, that orange.
I could take you to a place in Atchison, Kansas, called the Sally House. Don't go there unless you really want to see bad. The first time I was there, you walked up and there's some steps. A mattress flew up and just blocked the hall, the bedroom door. So I just walked up and kicked it down. And because like I said, I'm a demonologist and I fool these things. I'm not afraid of them. I don't tempt them. But I mean, unless like that and I got thrown, I did. I shouldn't have done that. But the only time I'll provoke is if you call me to your house and somebody's possessed or it's going on in your house, and I've got to find it. I got to find it. If I don't, I've got to try to pull it out.
Why do most people want it out?
Because it's sheer evil. It plays on your mind. It's mean. It's sinister. I mean, it'll eventually kill you if you let it take your soul, everything. I mean, you won't even be the same person.
Move the soap or move the glass?
Oh, no, that's no big deal. Ghosts can do that. A demon, the last time I was around a demon, I watched this guy, his chest was burning. I raised his shirt, and you could just see blood coming out of it. And there was like 3 claw marks, and what that is that's mocking the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's why a demon does it, and three of them like that. And usually if it's a demonic activity, you'll see stuff like that. You'll see smell sulfur, eggs, rotten meat. If you've got one in your house, you'll pick up smells. You ain't gonna say your whole house smells like it. You'll start picking up that odor here and there. You'll start picking it up. The air will get real heavy. You can feel it. I mean, it's of course ghosts can make air heavy, make the air stand up on your arms, but the demon's a whole different animal. That's something that most ghost hunters don't want to get involved with that.
What do you classify a demon versus just a ghost, or a saint, or a spirit?
A demon's unhuman. It never was a human. I mean, it was from heaven. God, they took him and
like
saved
the
him.
devil.
Yeah,
the devil and his helpers.
Yeah, that's it. Just like God and his angels, and that's exactly what it is. And I can tell you now, demons are real, 110%. I know.
So the demons will make you think it's a loved one's spirit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're tricky. They'll play mind games with you. I was at this place one time. It was an event. We had some people. Thank God they didn't walk out in the hallway with me at night. But I was sitting there, and we had a big spirit box. We're sitting there, and it come across it. Larry Gouge, I know who you are. And I said, I know you too. And people said, what was that? I said, that's a demon. They said, what? They said, how do you know? I said, trust me, I know. I said, because I've helped cast them out. I've helped done this, and I got a bullseye on my back. And they know. They can't stand me because I know too much information on them. That's what they don't like. When you know a lot of information, they hate your guts in. They want to get you
information about what?
How to get rid of them, how to recognize them. Me and you can go into a room, and me, they're going to hate my guts. They may hate you, but they may not show it as much because you don't know what you're dealing with. No. I do, and they don't want me around.
And I'd run quick.
Yeah, and that's what I told them. They said, well, what that mean? I said, what that mean was, Larry, I know you're here tonight. And I said, but it's not going to happen tonight. We're gonna meet up another night. I'm gonna let you go tonight. That's what I got out of it. It just said it's not gonna happen tonight. But I just want to let you know I am here and I see you, but it won't happen tonight. So me and this police officer walked out in the hallway. We're just sitting there talking about the night and the investigation we get. And this humanoid looking gnarled up thing like this right here just drug its body across the hallway.
Now if I was there, would I see it?
Yeah, you'd have saw it. No, he was as plain as day. That policeman was next to me. His eyes got, he said, what the F was that? He used the word. I don't ever cuss.
Was it a quick second like that picture you said, or was it
long? It was 3 or 4 seconds. It drug it slow just across the hallway there. Just like something out of a horror movie. He said, Gouge, if I hadn't turned down this hallway, he said, you guys gone. He said, I was gone. He said, I wasn't standing here next to you. And he just drug himself across the hall there. He said, what was that? When I said, it was that demon that's talking to me in there. I said, exactly what it was. It was showing itself to me then. In a just old gnarled up human form.
Now, how do you know how to get rid of them?
I use God. My Bible. I pray.
Like a cross?
Yeah, crosses, Bible. I don't go nowhere without a Bible. Sage won't get rid of a demon. A lot of people say, well, sage and cleanse the house. Sage won't get rid of a demon. Are you crazy? Sage ain't gonna get rid of no demon. It'll get rid of ghosts. I can cleanse your house with if it's a bad entity, it may take a few times, but
of what?
Sage, burning sage and lavender. You know what sage is? You burn that stuff. It won't get rid of no demon. He may trick you. You think
it'll just get rid of a ghost.
Some ghosts. There's still some pretty powerful.
Now, why would they leave because you're burning sage?
It's just sage and lavender seems to work the best. It just seems to do the cleansing.
But what if it's your grandmother?
Well, you'll be getting rid of her too if you're going to do it. But I don't use sage. I'm against sage. Bible's against sage. Now, I've got some team members that use it, but I won't use it. I use my Bible. I won't use sage because the Bible says, and you can Google it, look it up, using sage is against the Bible because it was witches used it. It was used in rituals. And the Bible wants you to depend on God and the Bible and Him, not your sage and rituals. So
Makes sense.
I don't use it. A lot of my team members do. They'll sage themselves before they go into a place. They'll sage themselves and they live to keep a spirit from attaching to you and coming on with you. They'll do that. But I don't use sage because I try to stay within the Bible's rules, and that's just how.
What if you just had the King James, or what if you just had the New Testament? Would it be just as well?
New Testament's fine. It's absolutely fine. It's like I said, there's a lot of people think I'm crazy, but It ain't for everybody. Because if you're weak-minded, you've got drug problems, and you've got this, you don't need to be doing this kind of work. These evil spirits. So you got foul spirits. And the Bible talks about foul spirits. That's not a demon. Foul spirit's just no mean ghost. That's a foul spirit to me. Because the Bible talks about foul spirits and it talks about demonic. Foul spirit to me just no mean freaking spirit on this earth. It's just mean. And just like the supposedly the witch at the Bell Witch Cave in Adams, Tennessee. She was just supposed to be just an evil witch in life. She's still an evil spirit afterwards. So we're fixing to do a little TV show up there too.
Now, this sounds crazy, but my mind works weird. This may make you laugh, so don't laugh. But say my grandmother's spirit's coming in, and the foul spirit and a demon show up at the same time.
They're going to override They're going to suppress your grandma probably.
The foul and the demon.
Yeah, they're going to suppress her. They're going to. We dealt with that last night, where we was trying to talk to this little boy. He got killed on the railroad tracks there, and his name was Charlie. We talked to him several times, like that's plain as day. You can tell a little kid's voice, everything coming out. And then these other darker ends did come in, and just boom, just slam him down, shut him down. Just they're a lot more powerful, and they just slam him down and said, "You're not going to talk to them," and that's what happens sometimes.
So where do they go?
They just suppress. They just back away.
Come back when they're gone.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, and you can you can talk to them another time. You're sure. And it happens like that sometimes. You don't like it, but it happens. That's exactly your grandma would be. She would be suppressed, especially when the demonic spirit come in. It's done. The demonic, unless an angel's there, the demonic spirit.
Yeah. What if you have an angel there?
Yeah, the angel's going to win every time.
Does that happen?
I've seen mediums use them. Mediums they call in, I've seen them call in Michael the Archangel and all. They'll pray and call them in. The Bible even speaks. I always use Jesus' name. But I've read up, the Bible even talks where you can call angels down to help you too. And a lot of mediums use them. They'll call them in and pray and call.
When that demonic spirit's trying to get rid of the good spirit.
Yeah, you can call them in to help you get rid of it. And matter of fact, I had a friend it's dead now, and I really think it's what happened to him with a demonic spirit in a place where he's at. 6 months later, after it took place, he's dead. And I really think that's what happened to him. I don't like fooling with demons at all.
How do you get rid of them?
How do I get rid of them? There's no guarantee. This is one of them things you try your best to help somebody. I use the Bible, prayer. I've got prayer sheets I give to other team members.
So say you do it at night?
A demon, you can be anytime. Say if I come here and say he's demonic possessed.
So give me a typical call. Okay, you go, hello. They say, is this Star Mountain Research Center? And you say, yes. And they say, I got a demon at my house.
Yeah, well, well, I've had people say that, but when they start saying, I got a demon at my house, I say, okay.
How do they get your number?
They can get it off Facebook, but most people know me. And they just say, just like how you found me. They say, call Larry, he'll come help you.
Yeah, I found you from the... Literally, a guy said, man, this guy is the real deal.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not a guy that just... I saw him. I got real recognition. The guy said that you are the real deal.
Listen to me. You hear this old hillbilly country redneck here, and I am. I'm just.
Hillary would say a deplorable.
Yeah, I talk. I was born and raised in the Southern Appalachian, so I guess I got what you call hillbilly talk. But I'm smarter than I sound sometimes, and.
You're dependable. I know that.
Yeah, I'm dependable. If I tell them I'll be here. But they'll call me and. Sometimes they'll say it's honey. Sometimes I say they'll say they think there's a demon here, or they'll think, hey, my kid's demonic possessed. I hate demonic possessions. A demon in your house, that's fine, but demonic possessions is.
So now that's different than a demon.
Well, no, it's the same thing. It's just that demon has actually entered your body. It's possessed you. So you can have spirits attached to you. You can have a demon on your back. I think people's drug use, alcoholics, think you got a demon on your back.
A lot of people say I've got that. I don't know if it's the same term, but they use anything you're addicted to. Yeah. They say called a monkey on your back?
Yep, I think it's a demon on your back.
Maybe
Now,
that's where that phrase came from.
it could be. I think it's controlling you. That don't mean you're demonic possessed at all. That's a whole different. That's a whole different. A demonic possession is actually when you. I think most possessions, you've got to be a willing participant. You've got to just give up. You've got to let that thing come in. Just
What about that guitar player that sold his soul to the devil to play the guitar?
Well,
Is that what they're talking? Is that the?
in a way, yeah, in a way, I guess you could. But somebody demonic possessed, you can look at them, they're not the same. Their whole demeanor's changed. You can just look at their face. Everything has changed. And if you want to bring it out, just start talking.
Or is that person there?
The person is still there. It's still there. And sometimes it'll still show itself. It will. That person will still show itself.
So say I can get demonic,
Yeah.
demon.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Well, there's the demonic possession. There's different demons, though. You've got. I mean, I've seen people 6 or 7 demons, and you've got demons of lying, demons of sex. You've got demons, just all kinds of. There's different demons that can be in you causing problems. And when they get in you, it's hard to get them out. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard. It's one of the worst things you want to see. I mean, the whole face changes. The voice changes. Eyes roll back in their head.
How long does this go on?
Well, I'm not Catholic. Catholic, they want to go and do things in sessions and this and that. I believe if you're there and it's rose up and showed itself, it's on. It's on. We got to do what we got to do to try to get rid of it. We got to. Now, I'm not going to push nobody to death. Nothing like that. If it gets that, say, listen, I can't do no more. We're going to hurt this person. He's got to have. Or he or she's got to have more help. Right now, I can't. Their physical body can't take it. Because sometimes your body can't take everything that's going on. And that's when you got to know it's time to draw back right now. But I don't never run into that much. Usually we try to get rid of it. But, you can't.
Does the person that's possessed know that that they're demon possessed?
No. I'm going to tell you why. In this life, this possession that I was at, he was a 16-year-old boy. And when it was over with, he don't remember nothing. He don't remember a thing. He said, I don't.
How long did it go on?
Well, here, I'll tell you exactly how it happened. His mom and daddy, they were ministers. And something come to, their neighbor died. And everybody kept saying he was devil possessed. Something come to their house, and they couldn't even sleep. It was in their bedroom. And they didn't know what it was. They finally shook it off. And they felt like it went in there, and their son was 16 years old, and he was a willing participant. He was in the Dungeons and Dragons, acting like he was demons and this and that. So it found a willing participant to probably take him in. Well, it was at a church service. And this lady goes, I feel like, it actually is my mom, really. She said, she goes, I think we need to pray for this boy. So they went up there. My dad laid hands on him, and his eyes rolled back in his head, slobbering and everything else. And Daddy just looked at the audience. He says, if you're not where you need to be with God, I'd get away from this building as far as you can get. Things started flying across the stage.
Did everybody leave?
No, not a soul left. Things were flying across the stage. I get chill bumps now thinking about it. Things were flying across the stage. And this is the first possession I was ever at. I was a kid myself. I was the same age as that boy. And this boy had 2 demons in him. He had a fight. The first one was like, I guess, a fighting demon. But he never touched nobody. His hands was to his side. He was like this. And there was a lady there with the Bible next to him. He just goes like it right there. And whoosh, she flew plumb out of her shoes, hit the piano. Bible landed right back down in her hands. And she come back. There was things flying. My dad was 6'3", 300-something pounds. And his body was just bouncing on the floor, laid out like that, just beating him to death. That guy was never touching him. They got that demon out of him. And Daddy walked up to him and said, son, how do you feel? You feel okay? He said, yeah, I feel fine. And Daddy started to walk away. And he come back and he said, Lucifer, you're a liar. Buddy, oh buddy, you talk about a meaning that rose up that time. That was a mean one. He was, that's my word. And they said, that's Jesus. No, it's my word. His real deep voice, but his eyes had rolled back and his head slobbering. Whole face changed. That took about 3 hours to get that demon out of that boy. But when they got it out of it, he don't remember nothing that took place. Nothing. He don't remember nothing. He just thought he went up there and got prayed for. He don't remember nothing that happened that 3 or 4 hours all this took. And I think it took about 4 hours. At first it took about an hour, 30, 40 minutes, hour to get out. That license took about 3 hours. That was an arguing. They hadn't argued it, fought like that. That first one was just mean, throwing things. And that was easier to get out. That license was it played with your mind. It's and here's the thing too. You got to be careful when you go to get a demon. I'm gonna tell you why. Every bad thing that you've ever done, it's fixing to bring it up. You better be ready for it. If you're cheating on your wife, or if you're over here doing this, something you passed 15 years ago you've got hid, and you're up there trying to pray that demon out, he's gonna tell it all. You better be ready, because it's fixing to hit the table right there.
How does he tell it?
And it just cheap, just deep, just if they just say, he just, and just come out and just say,
I've been to some church services that they did everything except say the word demon, but they were speaking in tongues. And is that a similar? I went to when Benny Hinn came to Cleveland, and he had everybody there about hypnotized.
Well, there's some preachers that's good about that.
Was he doing anything?
I'm not a Benny Hinn fan. I think a lot of these.
Now, what about the Catholic Church? You said, do they pray out demons?
Yeah, they can. They've been very successful at it. I'm not Catholic. I don't agree with how they do things. I don't think they're Christians.
But they carry that cross around.
Yeah, they actually train. You don't have to be a Christian to help get rid of a demon. You don't have to be a Christian to do that. It helps to have the Christian faith. It helps to do that. But if you're trained, there's demonologists out here that they're not saved Christians, but they know what they need to do to help get rid of that demon and help somebody.
Now let's suppose you came in. Let's go back to the person calls and says, we've got this guy that lives with us that's demon. Do they just call and say, we've got a ghost here and strange things have been happening, but nothing really bad?
Yeah, you get things like that. You get things that's bad.
Give me an easy one, not demonic, but just a spirit one, but it was significant.
If somebody calls me and says, hey,
give me an example.
We got problems here. Can you please come in? I'm saying, all right, tell me what's going on. We've got doors slamming. We've got footsteps in the house. We hear whispering. My little girl had her hair pulled.
Are they scared or just curious?
Most people are scared. They don't understand. The bedspread got yanked off of me in the middle of the night. I had one house where the person it was a kid. She got drugged plumb out of the bed, yanked up by her feet out of the bed. And you go and then you go to this place and you interview them. Once you get there, you interview them. You want to talk to everybody, even that kid by itself. You write everything down. You want to interview everything. And if my psychic meeting we are, it's going to take her. And you get your information. You know if anybody on medication here. What's going on? Then you get your evidence. Then you go in. You set up an investigation. Then you do what you got to do. Now sometimes there might be a demonic possession, but you said don't go there right now. That's a whole different animal. Then when it shows itself, I'm going to try to get rid of it. But just your typical ghost. It's just like doing a police investigation. You've got to get your evidence right. Because a lot of people just want attention. Or they've heard a noise, they say, oh God, my house is haunted. Or they think they've heard this, or they think they say it, and we go in and say, there's nothing here. I can't find nothing, And that happens a lot. It does. It really does. It happens more than you'd think when they call you.
So you said when you came in, you got in late from doing one last night.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was the old Herman Post Office. We was doing a TV show, worldwide internet TV show for Powerhouse TV, and the name of our show was Tennessee Taboo.
So see, Tennessee Taboo is the name of your.
Yeah. Well,
what's that the name of?
It's the name of me and Joe. Then now we got a psychic medium that's coming in with us.
And who did the TV show?
Powerhouse TV.
Para-House.
It's worldwide.
What are they on? Just the internet?
It's internet TV and YouTube, internet TV. It's everywhere, and it's a pretty big outfit. And they wanted something different. This lady was hunting with us at Brushy Mountain. She's at Brushy Mountain, and she goes. Joe's about a 6'2", 6'1", and he's a homosexual, and he's a good guy, great ghost hunter. Mm-hmm. And then here I am, country redneck. We were hunting up there together, and we were just having fun. We were just up there.
They didn't go together, does it?
And she goes, "Man, you all would be a good TV show." She said, "You would," because we were comedy too. I could just say what I want to him. He'd say what he want to me. No,
like Duck Dynasty or something. That sort of thing.
And he's a Trump supporter, thank God.
Yeah.
And we just go with the flow and just say whatever we want to each other, and just and have a good time. And she just said, "I've never seen that happen before." I said, "He's a good ghost hunter." I said, because he likes men, ain't nothing to me.
Yeah.
He can have all his boyfriends he wants. I like women.
Yeah.
And she said, "You know what? This is a TV show right here." So we taped one last night up there at the old Harriman Post Office.
So she called you?
Yeah.
And she said, "Okay, I want to do a show with y'all."
Yeah. She said, I want you to do this show."
Do they pay you or just?
How we get paid on it is when you go and do events and things, you get paid to be at these events. Actually, the show itself, you don't get paid.
It's like an advertisement.
Yes. Now we sell our equipment on our spirit boxes. She advertises it for us. All our things that we make, she sells them. But what you do is you got Scarefest, all these other different Paracon, all these different places, and you get paid to go there on weekends. And a lot of event companies like Haunted Adventures, there's a lot of event companies out there, and they pay you to come and take to their event and be there and hunt with their people and show them what to do and things like that. That's how you make money. These TV shows, you don't make much of these TV shows at all. You just get publicity, and you make your money off your events and your.
So this thing you did last night was part of the TV show?
Yeah.
And it's going to be out when?
I don't know the exact date yet. We're still editing everything we got. And the reason she liked us is because we're good ghost hunters. And she said, you bring a different, you're like a little comedy to him too. You just say things to each other like, come on, And
where's she out of?
Florida. She's out of Florida. And she's a psychic medium too, as a matter of fact. But, she just fell in love with us. She said, we got to do this. Which I could care less.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, I don't care if I'm in the spotlight or not. But Joe called me. He said, "Larry, just do this. You just have to know Joe." I said, I don't know, Joe. Then he finally said, I called him back and said, "Just do it." I said, "It's ghost hunting. Why not?"
Yeah.
I said, "We're just going to tape it and put it on the show and let everybody else watch what we do." So I said, I said, "Why not?" So we're going back to that Ripa Villa where the cannons were firing October 9th, do a taping then. So what you do, you tape these shows, then they start putting them out. Is what they do. So we're getting them taped. Got that one last night.
So if I go to Para-House and watch the TV show Haunted Taboo,
yeah,
then you're saying this is a real thing.
Yeah, but it won't be on there. The last night was the first show.
But it was a real one.
Oh yeah.
They didn't say walk this way or walk that way or act like you're scared.
No, this is why we're different. This is why we're different. Now we had some comedy stuff we threw in there, just play with people, just comedy. But this is why we're real. You ever watched the Blair Witch Project?
Yeah.
This is why we're real.
That was a good show.
We've got some team members filming us. We film ourselves. We got team members filming us, and we show exactly what's going on. We don't have all these camera crews here. We could have that, but that's going to take away. And ghosts are not going to come out as much. Too much going on. I mean,
do they know it?
Yeah, they know. It's like deer. It's like deer hunting or something. You can't go out there and deer hunt with 5,000 people. You've got to, be in a small group, and it works better that way. And that's why she said, this is going to be different. We're going to do this. We're going to edit this. Then we're going to put it on there, and it's going to be really say, hell for I'm hungry. Well, it's going to get it all.
So the Para-House is that TV show.
Yeah.
But you're involved in something else. Wasn't there three things?
the Star Mountain. We got Haunted Adventures, the big company. Then we got this Powerhouse TV, which is sponsors Tennessee Taboo.
Now, explain Haunted House Adventures.
Haunted Adventures.
Haunted Adventures.
I got some T-shirts out in the truck. Remind me, I'll give you some when I leave. Don't let me forget. What it is, it's a event company. You say Waverly in Kentucky. We're going to rent it for the night. My company rents it.
Rents what?
The whole haunted location. We rent it for the whole night.
Where's the location?
Wherever we want it. Say, I'm making an example. Maybe Waverly in Kentucky. We're gonna do Waverly.
So we do it here.
Okay, we're gonna do it here. Say we probably 3 to 6 months out, we start advertising it, selling tickets for your house here. It's haunted, and we'll figure out how many people we can get to this house and make money. You know, and still make money. Some places you can have 100 people. Some places you can't have about 15.
Well, how many would you have here?
Well, I ain't seen the whole house, but you could probably do 10 here, maybe 12.
So you'd sell tickets?
You'll sell tickets, and it depends on the location and what it's.
Now, how much would that be a ticket? If there's 10 people, you're
Well,
bringing what?
Well, it depends on if you got celebrities, which now we got the TV show, we'd be our own celebrity now. It depends on how much it costs us to rent a place. If you did cheaper,
Say the place is free.
free.
Yeah, I'll say, hey,
I'd
I'm
probably-
gonna have, instead of having a birthday party, I'm gonna have a haunted adventure.
Well, I'd probably anywhere from $25 to $50 a ticket.
All right, so 10 people, $500.
It depends if you've got a psychic medium on that's going to do her thing. And
No, let's say it's just your team.
okay,
Which is what? You and Joe?
well, now, Tennessee Taboo is different from Haunted Adventure. Now, Joe helps us with that, but Tennessee Taboo's the TV. That's our thing that me and him and Jessica does on there.
Yeah.
That's it. But now, Haunted Adventures, we've got staff members at work. I've got people in different places, and they come in. And honestly, I give this part to Sandy in Alabama. She's a good friend of mine. I didn't have time to fool with it. I mean, I'm still big. It was still in my name, but I give it all to her, told her to run it. I'm here to help take care of it. I said, it's yours. You take it and run it. And that's what she does for me. But we got different staff members, and we call them in based on.
How many does she do a year?
Well, COVID has got us cut down right now because we're afraid we can't sell tickets to a lot of people. So you'd like to do at least one a month if you can. But right now, we've not done nothing since we went to the USS, I think, North Carolina battleship last August, September. Then the COVID hit. Then we sort of take off a little bit in the wintertime. Then the COVID hit, and we ain't booked nothing up. And we was going to do the funeral home in jail in Mississippi, but the owner of it had a heart attack and died. But we can still get it. It's just we were good friends with this guy, and we just sort of backed away from it. So what you do is you sell tickets. I mean, we'll sell them anywhere from $25, $50, plumb up to $200.
All right, so let's say you sell, you're going to do a haunted adventure, and I call 20 people,
Yeah.
and I say, hey, we're going to do a haunted adventure at out in the woods at this campsite.
I got some places like it too.
So I call you, and you have, what, 3 people come?
Well, that's not how
Your
it works.
team?
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it do. We set the places up and advertise and put the tickets for sale. Then you call in or you go online, click, and you order your tickets, just like I would if I was buying a football game ticket or something. You just go and you buy your tickets, and we emails that says we sold 3 tickets, we sold 5 tickets, we sold 2 tickets. Then you got the date, then you show up at that date. And we supply snacks and drinks and everything.
Let's say I was wanting to have that instead of a birthday party. Could you do that?
Well, it would be based a little bit different. If you just want to we're going to do a birthday party and do a hunt or something like that. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. That really wouldn't be how Haunted Adventures is run. Honestly, I'd do that for free. Call me up, let's go do that.
I mean, so you wouldn't like have a. Could you have them anywhere?
An event?
Yeah.
Yeah, just as long as they've got a place that we can get. Yeah.
When you say a place, everybody lives in a house.
Yeah. Well, you want it to be haunted.
How do you know if it's haunted?
Well, most of these places got reputations that we go to, and actually, I like the bigger the better because you make more money. I want to be able to get 50 to 100 people and have a big.
You don't want to get out and do one for $500 or
and,
something.
well, I mean, I will.
Yeah.
But I will because I like doing it. I mean, if you call me up and say we're going to do an event here, well, no, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to sell no tickets. Nobody knows what your house is. Ain't nobody going to buy no tickets here.
But let's say that we did that and we paid $500 a piece and had 20 people that were going to stay the night, not spend the night, but we're all going to sit around this table from what would we get here at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, you'd have a check-in time, and everybody gets there. Then we'll have people that we'll split the groups up, and you'll have a ghost hunter or somebody knows what they're doing be with this group, and you'll have on this group. Then after a while, we'll change, and you'll go to a certain part of the house and investigate. Then you'll go to this part of the house and investigate. Then we'll swap up and go to different areas. Then a lot of times later in the night, we just say open hunt, everybody, and we've took you everywhere and ghost hunting. You all can explore on your own. If you want one of us to go, just come get us. We'll come. But you're free to go investigate and have fun. And if you got any questions or if you want one of us to go, just come get us. We'll go with you.
Now, say I could do that myself, or do I need a ghost hunter?
You need a ghost hunter because you ain't gonna know what you're doing. I mean, you got no equipment.
I mean, if me and you were sitting here, and we sat here and ate pizza till 5 in the morning, and I did it myself, I might not see a ghost or hear a ghost or talk to a ghost.
You need to be experienced. You need to know what you're doing.
So what would I do? I'd have that box.
You could have that box. You can have it set up on your phone. Recorders. Like I said, we got recorders that stay on the home.
Say I didn't want to record. I just wanted to experience it.
You want me to tell you, I'm old school. You want me to tell you where I've got some of my best action. I just go somewhere by myself. It's haunted. It's known to be haunted. I just go sit down in the dark by myself.
Like a graveyard.
Well, that'll work too.
If you went and sat at a graveyard
just go sit
at 2 in the morning,
just sit there by yourself. Just sit there, nobody around. Just kick back and just relax. You'd be surprised what might come up and touch you. What might sit down next to you. Something might lift your hat off your head. I've had that happen. Or something whisper in your ear. Hey.
Or see that picture that you showed me.
Well, you could see that too, yeah. And things like that. So a lot of these events, I take people and do different things. We'll do the equipment. Then I'm going to say, all right, people, we're going to go old school. Because I can feel what's going on, and I've done it. The more you do it, the more your body's in tune. You can feel these spirits.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'd just think it was a draft.
It's like any other job. You get used to doing it, and once you walk into a house, you go, "Wow, I can feel it. It's here, man." The hair's standing up. You might walk in and say, "Wow, you're crazy." It's just you're more in tune to it. You've been used to doing it, and you know what's there, and you go and just. And I'll just say, listen, people, we're going old school tonight. Get your recorder, keep your recorder on. We can still ask some questions. You can take pictures, video if you want to, but it's turn all this electronic stuff off. It's just sit back and be calm. You'll be surprised what might come to you. I know. I've got pictures. The last place I done that at, Linda Crockett, my photographer, she's a good ghost hunter. I call her Casper. She don't like hunting me. Because I always get into the bad stuff. And she'll tell you, we go to home investigation, she hunts with me. We go somewhere like that, she gets away from me. She said, I ain't going with Larry. No. She said, Larry always gets these bad things come around Larry. So we're sitting there, and I had a Carhartt jacket on St. Albans Sanitarium up in it was in a mental institution up in Virginia. My jacket. He got grabbed and yanked backwards. And I went, whoa, like it right there. And she's got it on picture. If it get grabbed me and yanked me backwards.
Raise your right hand. You're swearing.
I swear. She's got a picture of it. I ain't got it with me, but she's got a picture. I was just sitting there. We're just sitting there. I'm just sitting there. All of a sudden, I get a big old Carhartt jacket. It's cold at night.
They're hard enough to move anyway without it even being.
He grabbed my jacket and yanked me back. I go like this. As a matter of fact, I go plumb back into this little Asian girl, and I go right back into back into her. And she said, I saw it. She said, I saw your jacket get pulled back and everything where we was at. And Linda got the picture of it. It did it, but it done it. So that was an awesome experience. And but anytime, if you just like that whisper he got over there, anytime you go to a place and you get something, it was a success to me.
Now, if we stayed here all night, if it's not haunted, then except for maybe that guy walking down the hall, we might not even pull nothing up.
I've been to places that's really haunted. Mm-hmm. They don't want to interact at night. It's like hunting. Mm-hmm. They say, no, we're backing away. We don't want to do nothing tonight. It happens.
What's the ultimate goal of these demons, or to get you to burn in hell, I guess, right?
That's exactly what they want you to do.
And the foul ones are doing what?
They're the same thing. They're doing the exact same thing. They're just mean. They're doing the same thing. I mean, I've had things happen to me at my house. I've had things follow me home. I had to get rid of them. So.
I bet. Yeah, like bringing.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You have to be careful when you go to these places. Some people sage. You can use salt. Salt's good.
What do you do with the salt?
Put it around your car. Put it in the doorways. It's a form of purity. They don't like it. Just like when you take a Ouija board, don't burn them, don't throw them in the ground. You take it face down, you bury it. You cover it up, and you pour that salt all over that ground. And it rains. That salt just goes down there, and that's how you get rid of a Ouija board. That's how you do it. And but salt works real good. Sage works. It's just I won't use sage. It works. Now, we can use frankincense and myrrh, but I don't like using that either. I just like to do prayer more. Or a lot of times you can just say, you can't follow me home. You ain't going. You got to go. And that works. 90% of the time, that works too. That's okay, I ain't going. That's pretty much how it is. But we're building a backwards box at my house. When it does backwards, me and my buddy.
Now explain that. That's different than the one that.
Yeah, well, it works pretty much the same way. It works pretty much to a police scanner. You hook it up to a scanner, or you follow a police scanner, and it's going through there backwards, backwards. And you're sitting there asking questions, doing this and that. And when a spirit comes through, it's just like us talking. You go, wow, I just caught it. Well, we just left this hospital, and there was a ghost there, Mary. Well, we're sitting in the house, we was building it, because don't ever open a portal in your house. There's called portals. I won't ever open it out in my house. I won't never go somewhere and use one, open it up, because they're a portal. Now
say that again.
It's a portal.
You lost me.
Spirit box, a portal. It's like they come through it.
So don't ever open up
a portal in your house. No spirit boxes, nothing. But we was building this.
I turned my cell phone on.
That's fine, but you ain't got this app on. You don't have this portal app on. You got to have that app on. And we're sitting there, we're building this box, he's hooking the scanner up to it, and it goes, can I go see Mary? I'm sitting there like, what in the world? Just like that, can I go see Mary? I looked at Peter, I said, this is explaining a lot now. I said, we just left that place where Mary was at. I said, this freaking ghost followed us home. Here's my friend Pete. He's my occult specialist on my team. And I said, turn that thing off now. I said, get that thing off. I didn't expect that to happen. And we had doors open in the house, lights coming off and on. Nothing bad, doors shut and then lights coming off and on. My wife said, you better do something. I said, this is getting a little ridiculous. So they all left. We got rid of it. And that would follow me home. And but I guess the scariest thing happened at my house, I was laying in bed. I know this was a demon just attacking me. And in my house don't have no demon. It was just a demon. A demon don't have to haunt. A demon's like an angel. They go where they want to go. That's why people say, oh, this demon's haunting. A demon can do what he wants to do. And apparently, he was going to try to scare me. So he come to my house one night. I'm in bed. I'm laying there asleep. I actually hear my bedroom door open and shut. And I'm thinking, what in the world? And all of a sudden, I felt something choking me around my neck. I can't breathe. I can't move. I'm trying to get up. And I finally get up, and I'm mad then. And but now it was a scary event, but I was mad because, listen, I'm a man's man. I've done martial arts. I've done police work, bounty hunt. No, I don't like nothing pushing me around. And I come up out of that bed ready to fight, but it was gone. Never have seen it again. Never have felt it again in my house. It was something that came in that night. It was just I'm fixing to scare you. I'm going to show you right here. And that's what it tried to do to me at the house. And that was probably the scariest thing happening at my home. Them little ghosts, we get rid of them all the time, but my wife don't like them. My son loves it, but my wife don't like her having nothing to do with it, and I don't want him to. He's went a couple of times with me, but he's just 14. I don't like him being around it too much either. But
Why do you do it?
it's just it fascinates me. It's interesting.
Like a mystery?
Yeah, it's just something. It really interests me. It's
Not that you're trying to help or hurt or.
Now the helping people. Now I like helping people. I like taking my knowledge to you. If you're in and this family is scared to death, they've got problems, and sometimes I can just say, listen, this ghost is just trying to get your attention. It's not mean. It's not.
What if it's a demonic spirit?
Oh, we'll know. I know. I trust me. You'll know. I mean, it's more sinister. The smell's different. You can think. You'll know.
So if it was there, it could possibly possess someone.
Yeah.
And cause them to get on alcohol.
Well, now the possession and getting on, you can, like the old monkey on your back.
Yeah.
It don't have to. Well, actually, now a ghost can do it too. A foul ghost, it can do it. It can do it too. Because I'm gonna tell you what happened to me one time. My psychic medium, I went down. This is how we met. My son, it was St. Mary's in Knoxville, which is not there no more. My son had an ACL torn football, and we was having surgery. It was a light surgery, and we was up there, and lights were going off and on. Doors were shutting. Them two nurses, it was just us and two nurses. They were getting scared. I said, "That's a ghost." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Something's going on." I said, "It's trying to get my attention. It knows that I've got ways to communicate. It's trying to get my attention." And well, I come home, and about a month later, I'm talking to this psychic medium for an event, and she just says, "Can I tell you something?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." She goes, "Have you been to Catholic school or something Catholic?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was at the Catholic hospital." I said, in Knoxville. And she said, "Your son had some kind of surgery, right?" I said, "Yeah." And trust me, I didn't. This wasn't out there where everybody could see. She didn't know me from nothing. I said, "Yeah, he did." She said, "Well, there's a nun with you." I said, "A nun?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, is she pretty?" That's what I said. That's what I said. She said she's beautiful. She's in her 20s. She was probably a nun in the 20s or 30s, she said. She said she's not attached to you. She said the hospital was closing down. She liked you. She left with you. But she said, "I'll see her with you." Now, is she still with me now? I don't know. But she said she's not attached to you. She can leave and go where she wants to. She's not going to haunt nobody, she says. But she said this. I see her face. I see her. She left that hospital with you. She said she's with you right now. This has been a year and a half, 2 years ago. But when she told me that, I should have asked her this weekend if that nurse was still with me. I didn't. I should have. Not nurse. I mean the nun.
Yeah.
She says that nun's still with me, but I didn't. I didn't think nothing about it. But she said it's not attached to you. There's a difference. Attached. It's an attachment. You've got to get rid of that attachment. Because I'm going to tell you why you got to get rid of an attachment. If you get a full attachment, it can make you depressed. It can make your emotions different. So you've got to, if you know something's attached to you, you got to get rid of it. Because it'll bring in more spirits. One spirit can bring in other spirits. That's why you got to be careful.
And what's their purpose?
I think a lot of them that's just bound to this earth still, I think they just want to communicate with you. I think they're fascinated with us just as much as we are with them. A lot of them want to be alive again. I mean, they know they're dead.
Do they know there's a God?
Yeah, some of them do, yeah. Oh yeah, they all know there's a God. Because I've got evidence to prove that too. And we was dealing with one at one place.
So the demons, have they met God, reckon?
Oh, they know God. Oh, trust me, they know Him. They know they ain't gonna beat Him. They may think they can, but yeah, they know God. Oh yeah, they know God. That's why when you start pulling out Bibles and things like that, in Jesus' name, they know to flee. They ain't gonna. They may try to fight you a little bit, but they know they can't stand up to that. But they try. But I think God. I honestly think hell. And people may say, that guy's nuts. I think it's in the center of this earth. See, the hell and lake of fire is two different places. See, a lot of people don't know that. Right now, you go to hell if you're hell. One day, you'll be judged and thrown in the lake of fire, and that's when Satan and his angels, his demons will be in there. They'll be bound up and thrown in the lake of fire too. Right now, there's hell. I think hell's on this earth. I think the center of the earth is where the brimstone, gnashing of teeth is. And I think hell is different for everybody. I think if you are scared to death of snakes and spiders, I think you're going to be tormented with that in hell. And I think one day you're going to burn. But I don't think hell's burning unless that's your biggest fear. I think hell is something that's going to prey on you and just torment you the whole time you're in hell till you're judged and you're took to the lake of fire. But right now, that's what I think. And I think God give us free will to choose who we want to. And I think the demons run rapid on this earth. I think but God's also here. He knows you choose who you want to choose. And you choose sides. If you choose my side, I'm still going to protect you while you're here. I'm going to let him tempt you because that's Adam and Eve run that for everybody. So you're going to be tempted. But you got to stand strong and you choose who you want to choose. And that's what I think. And I honestly believe that. I really think your worst fear is hell. I really think you live it over and over and over. And I really do. And these people, they know. These ghosts know. I mean, I've had some of them talk about God. And I've had... I don't listen to little kids. Because there was some ghost hunters talking to this 7-year-old girl. And I walked in. They was asking her questions, lights lighting up, getting responses. I said, "Can I say something?" They said, "Yeah, talk to her." I said, "You love Jesus Christ." It's done. No more. She didn't talk no more. They said, "You ruined that." I said, "You was entertaining the demon." I said, "Would you rather me break up you talking to the demon, or would you rather talk to this demon that's getting closer to you, getting more friendly with you? I just ended it for you." I said, "That wasn't no little girl." I knew it wasn't no little girl. So, but y'all need to go sometime.
Now, if you had an evil spirit, if there was an evil spirit here or a ghost, you believe that a person could pray it away?
Yeah. I believe if your heart's right and you use God, I believe. But I will say this: sometimes it's harder to do than say. Sometimes it don't happen as easy as you want it to happen, because this is His domain here, and He's gonna cause, like I said, He'll pull up everything that you can pull up on you. Every bad thing you've ever done, He'll be in your mind. He'll try to make you weak. He'll cause all kinds. But like I said, there's ghosts that can do that too. Hey, there's some mean ghosts that you think it's demon. You think it's demonic activity. Now you can see shadows, and you got to be honest. I believe everybody's seen a shadow, and you go, "Oh, what did I just see?" A shadow. Just go, "What, you see that?" I think everybody's seen that. That's a spirit. Now, a dark black image, when it's just a big black man that's standing there, that's a law. That's a whole different animal there. Now that's a whole different. To me, that's just one of the most foul spirit, evil spirits, hard to get rid of. But but yeah, there's some mean ghosts. There's some ghosts out there that you think are demons. And well, I guess really they are in a way, because the demon's controlling them. But they're just evil. They're mean.
Do you think there's any chance that this whole thing we're in is a simulation?
No, I don't think it.
Like a computer simulation?
Yeah, no.
They just advanced the game so far that
aliens are controlling us.
Yeah, they've got us. They've got me convinced that you don't believe in that.
No, no, I don't think I believe in that. But do I think there's aliens out there? Yeah, I do. I mean, have I seen one? No.
How do the demons fit into the aliens?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. I'll just tell you. There's so many things you can't answer. I don't even want to think about that. That'll blow my mind there. I don't even know.
If your mind is not blown yet, I don't believe that'll blow it.
That's what my mom would probably say too. They all think I'm crazy. I'm just going to tell you. But honestly, I'm real calm. Unless I'm coaching football. I'm a pretty calm person. And I can deal with these I'm not afraid. This house could be pitch black dark and haunted. I'll just walk on in here. I don't care. When you get picked up and thrown through the freaking wall, what I showed you,
Yeah, what else can they do?
I'll just come on in and talk. But when you're sitting there in the dark and you hear talking in your ear, you're thinking, wow, my gosh. It'll make you think you're crazy, but it really goes on. Just like he heard that over there on the. That's what I'm saying. Spirit doesn't come through. It knows. Now it knows. They know me. Spirits travel too. Was it South Pittsburgh? Went to Brushy Mountain. As soon as you go in Brushy Mountain, now I wasn't there on this one, but as soon as you get to Brushy Mountain, I heard the recorder though. It goes. They were at South Pittsburgh last week. How did they know we was at South Pittsburgh if they hit and go back and forth?
Maybe.
Now, I think some of them might be bound to a certain area. And I don't even know about bound. I think they just drawn to it and they want to be there. Just like an object. I don't buy antiques. You bring an antique in, you may be bringing in something you don't want.
Do they stay with antiques?
Not all antiques. Demons, bad ghosts, all kinds of different spirits, they will attach to these things. And you're getting ready to bring it into your house. Next thing you know, things are flying around, crazy stuff's happening, just like the Annabelle doll. You ever heard the Annabelle doll? You ain't never heard the movies Annabelle? No. True stories. But the doll they use is not Annabelle. The real Annabelle doll is a Raggedy Ann doll. And it's in a glass case in Ed and Lorraine Warren's museum. I think in Rhode Island. I think it may be where's that. Something may be Massachusetts. It's somewhere up there.
The real Raggedy Ann.
The real Annabelle. It was a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
That doll's in a glass case. You don't want to touch that doll. You'll be dead. It's demonic possessed. That doll is. It's a bad doll. I ain't gonna kid you. That's one doll you don't want to fool with. They made several movies based off of it. And it's a wicked doll. And that's what I'm saying. I was looking at this guy had a doll one time. And my buddy was standing there. They had this doll. I thought, why are they carrying this stupid doll around for? And my buddy goes, God, what an ugly doll. And that doll winked at him. It was a freaking doll possessed. Winked at him. I said, I don't want nothing to do with this. I said, I'm done. But yeah, that old radio there or whatever that is, they can have an attachment to it. Just like a ghost attached to me or you or him, they can attach to objects. Can attach to this phone. If I died today, and this was just this and that, and this is my life, hey, I'd love to just attach this thing. If I didn't make it to heaven or whatever, I think I could attach this thing, and next thing I know, everybody gets my phone, bring it to your house, I'm haunting your house. I know I blowed your mind on this one.
Boy, that's far out.
But read up on haunted objects and you'll see.
Haunted objects, not houses.
Haunted objects.
Haunted objects.
You can make your house haunted by bringing in a haunted object. Yes. You go get, that's why I said don't buy mirrors.
Why not mirrors?
Portals. I mean, especially antique mirrors. Antique mirrors, stay away from that stuff. I mean, I don't fool with that stuff. It's just, I do this stuff, but I don't want my house freaking haunted. I don't want to live in a haunted house all the time.
Yeah.
So you get in these haunted objects, and next thing you know, you're bringing in all kinds of stuff. And I can tell you, I can take some of my meters I got at a haunted object, I can lay it right on it. All the bells and whistles are going off. I can take that thing, and I can move it. It's fine. I can take that thing, put it back, and it's all going crazy. That's telling me there's a spirit there. It's picking it up. We got some equipment to pick it up. And, yeah, stay away. Yeah. Some people collect antiques, and that's fine. You may not ever have a problem. You get that one you do, you may have just opened up a can of worms you can't get rid of.
Or an old mirror.
Yeah, well, I don't like, not all old mirrors, but old mirrors worry me. They worry me a lot. It's almost like it could be a portal. I know you're thinking, God, he's really going nuts now. It's just like with spirit boxes, mirrors. Read up on all that stuff. You'll learn a lot about it. You read up on them. Just like I don't like mirrors facing each other. Like got a mirror in that wall, a mirror in that wall. No, don't do that. That's not good. You go to a lot of haunted locations, you'll see that in their houses. They have mirrors facing each other and things. It brings that more activity. and I won't do that.
You know, I've built houses for people that didn't want to see a light in, like the light in the bathroom, like sconce lights or ceiling lights.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to see them in the mirror.
No,
I think that's a haunted thing.
No, I don't know nothing about that now. I've never heard of that. Now that's something I'm not sure about that now. That's something I've never. I might have to read up on that now. I don't know a lot about that. But
Maybe it came from somewhere like that.
My hat could be haunted. I mean, you don't never know. But but when you can
You
have,
may not even be here.
well, who knows? Listen, just going to a graveyard, a spirit can attach with you and come home. Yeah, I mean,
And not hurt you.
no, it may be with you. You never know it. Never.
Can
know.
it help you?
Yeah, they've been times spirits that help people. Yeah, I had a friend. She's on my team, and she swear by it. She said it was a Civil War soldier. It was attached to her because there's a medium told her. Because they live where a lot of Civil War stuff took place. She lived out in Polk County. There was some Civil War stuff took place where she was at. And she got thrown by a horse and was getting trampled. And she was laying there. And she said she seen him, and he reached and said, "Get up. You got to get up." She got up. And she said it saved her life. Because she was getting trampled by horses. And she'd have got killed if she had stayed laid there. She said he reached out to her and he said it told her, "Linda, get up. Get up." Could that have been an angel? Could have been. I don't know. I wouldn't know, But she said it was a Civil War soldier. She said it was a Confederate soldier is what she said. So I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. That's what she told me. She said it saying, you'd have to know Linda. She don't. I've never known her to ever tell a lie or fib, nothing. I mean, she's always been straight up. No.
Well, I'll say one thing, Larry. You have really convinced me that you at least believe what you've seen.
Yeah. And it ain't for everybody. I'm just telling you, a lot of people wouldn't even, I could tell so many stories, some people wouldn't even go to sleep at night. Things that I've seen, they say, "Oh, no. I'm not going to sleep." It's like my son. We was at that Civil War graveyard. I'll tell you this real quick. And she told me when it's over, she says, your son's he's sensitive. He's an empath. He's sensitive. He's got some psychic abilities. That's what she said. He don't know it, but he does. We were sitting there at this slave house. And he said, I want to go. And he's 14 years old. And I usually don't take him. I let him go on this. He said, I want to go. And she told me a little later, she said, I wanted to run. We were surrounded by spirits. And he was picking up on it. So we left there, and we was at the cemetery, and we was going down this old trail. And it's pretty haunted there around the battlefield. And we started walking that trail. My son bowed up and stopped. Now, he's a big football player. He's a big boy. He's afraid nothing. He started hyperventilating. His chest, everything. I had to take him back to her car, and I set him in there. I said, "Son, I want to say, quit being a freaking scaredy cat. Get up here and quit this crap." His heart, he couldn't breathe. He was having an anxiety attack. All kinds of stuff was going on. And an hour later, she said, "Now I'm going to tell you what happened." And that's when she told me about my son. She said, "He don't know what's going on." She said, "But his body's picking up. He's feeling the pain of this stuff. And he don't know." And she said, "This is the same thing how I got started." She said, "I'm not going to say he's going to do that. And I don't want him to, so that's why I'm not going to steer him that direction." If he can sense and feel things like that, let him figure it out on his own. I'm not going to push him into that direction. But she says he picks up stuff. Well, what was hanging in that trail was a man hanging from a tree. She seen it. She felt it. My son felt it. He felt the pain. That's why he didn't know how to process it at all. So she took him up there, and I let her because she was good. She used some crystals, and he was still having all kinds of problems. And I didn't let him know what all she was doing. She saged him, and I usually don't let nothing like that happen. Within 2 minutes, my son was boom. He was fine. She's gone. He's fine. He's cleaned. He's fine. She said all this stuff that just happens gone now. He remembers it, but she said his body. I mean, I was actually getting scared. I want to go home. He just all kinds of, that's not him. And she said he was hurting. I said, you're telling me he was feeling this pain like you? She said, yes. He was hurting. He felt that man hanging that tree, the pain. All these slaves ran. He was feeling their pain. He was feeling everything that was going on. And he did. And she said, the difference between me and him, she said, I wanted to run. But she said, I didn't. She said, he didn't know what was going on. He just felt all the hurt and the sadness and the pain and everything, and he didn't know how to process it. And he just wanted to go, he wanted out of there. And that's blowed my mind that night. You know, and that's the first time I ever heard it. And my son's always told me, we'll go somewhere, just go somewhere. He said, Daddy, something's here. I said, what do you mean something's here? He said, I can feel it, something's here. You know, he's feeling it before I do. You know, he said, something's here. And that's not even talking about hunting. I'm just talking about going somewhere.
Yeah.
We said, something like, Daddy, something's here. So he's got an ability. But like I said, I'm not pushing him that way.
We might all have the ability, right?
You just hit it on the head. We do. Maybe not as advanced as some of them. The psychic medium just told us last night. She said, we all have ability.
And if we want to ignore our ability, that's fine, right?
She said, we all have it.
Ignorance is bliss.
She said, some of us is different. Some of us is more in depth. But we all have it, is what she said. You ever walked in a room, the hair standing on you, chill bumps when it's 100 degrees? Hey, you just had an ability right there. You feel it. You feel it. You know it's there. She said, or the air's real heavy and you walk into a place. Mm-hmm. And she said, everybody's got the ability. Some of them's got more advanced skills than others. But we all got some kind of an ability, she said. So, but I don't want none of that. I don't want to be a psychic medium. Don't want nothing to do with it. Don't want my son to do nothing with it. I just don't want to do with it. I don't believe in. I'm not a medium. I don't want to be a medium. I don't want my family to be a medium. I don't nothing like that. But the girl that's on my team is probably the best I've ever seen. I mean, she could sit right here, and she'd have probably told you what you just heard. She'd have probably done known it come through there before we even knew it, because it'd be taught. They talked to her. She'd walk in the place, they just hit her, boom, boom, boom. And she said sometimes she goes into a real haunted place, and if everything's still original there, she hates that. Because she said if the whole house is original, she said, boom, I'm getting energy from all of it. And she said that's hard. She said that's a hard thing to do. But she said that battlefield over there was one of the most intense places that she's ever been. And the most spirits hitting her in the face at one time coming around, the most pain she's ever felt in a long time was at Ripavilla Plantation over there. Because we walked in one room, and she didn't know what room this is. And we walked in this room, and it wasn't set up like a dining room. She said, was this a hospital in here? She said, I see legs, arms getting sawed off and thrown out this window somewhere right here, this window. And that lady said, yeah. They amputated people here and threw the body parts out the window right there. And that's what, and she'll draw before she gets somewhere, she'll draw. She'll draw things that she's getting in her head before she even gets out, and then she'll show them to me. And look at me, when we can back it up, she's sitting there drawing. And getting all this, just like this last place, she knew we was going for 2 weeks. As soon as I told her where we was going, the spirit started coming to her, started talking to her. They knew she was coming. That's why this spirit world is a lot more closer than we think. They know what we're doing. It's like that voice that comes through. They know exactly what we're doing.
Do you think the Cherokee Indians were attuned with the spirits?
Possible.
Did any of the stories from the Cherokee Indian relate to anything that you're familiar with today that would make you think that they dealt with the spirit world?
Not on what we do, but we do fool with a lot of Indians. We had Indians last night. There was one Indian in particular that the psychic meeting we pulled up last night. There is a lot of Indian spirits that we come in contact with and things, but was they in tune with it? I don't, I'm not really.
The Indians talked more about the spirit world than we do. So
I'm going to say yes, because they've got this thing called skinwalkers, they call it.
Yeah.
Or shift changers or something like that. Shift, what do they call them?
No.
Shape. That's it. See, I don't fool with them that much. But they swear it's real. There's a man out in Arizona or New Mexico, and he will tell you right now it's real. That's see, I don't deal with that. I mean, I would if I was around it. I mean, it's interesting to me, but to me, that's just demonic stuff too. It's just a different form, I guess, to do with the way the Indians was or whatever. I mean, that's just the way I look at things. But I want to believe there's a heaven. I mean, I know there's a heaven. I don't want to go to some of these places I've dealt with some of these spirits at, but I don't have an answer on some of the stuff why it is what it is on these ghosts. The only thing is when we die, we'll know.
Maybe there's nothing to. Maybe there is no answer. I figure if we could figure it out, somebody had done wrote a book about it, right?
Yeah, nobody is going to know till you take your last breath. Once you take that last breath, you're going to know. You're going to know what it's all about then. And you're going to know whether you messed up or you didn't mess up or how it is. And we can, it's just one of them things. We won't know till we're gone. And, we've all got our theories. Some people believe, a lot of people believe my theories. Some people say, well, he's crazy. I don't believe nothing he said. Well, I don't care. Everybody, that's why we're different. You believe how you want to believe. I believe how I want to believe. I mean, I've had
But you've got your proof.
Yeah.
Have you got more proof that there's paranormal than you do there's a heaven?
No. Because you look around every day and look
Besides that.
Physical evidence?
Physical evidence.
No, I don't have not physical evidence. Not except for what you feel in your heart and everything that's
But I mean as far as paranormal.
No, I don't know.
But you're 100%. You have your own proof of the ghosts and spirits world.
Yeah, I mean I don't have pictures of the angels or anything like that. But of course, some of the ghosts could have been angels. I don't know. I mean, angels will entertain.
But you've seen stuff.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say, like I said, I believe. I know there's a heaven. I know there's a God. If I wouldn't be here today.
But you think they're spirits. You've got your own proof.
Yeah.
And you believe it just like you're sitting here, and the only reason you see it and I don't is you're out paying attention in these haunted places.
Yep, that's true. Unless you just live in a place.
Hey, Larry, thanks for coming.
No problem, buddy. Go hunting with us.
I'll do it.
We'll take both of you.